Royale, y'all.
Welcome back, Weenie.
Getting to it, man. Everybody on, man. Make sure you tap in the chat. Let me know you're here. Man, so much stuff has been transpiring. I don't even. It's just topics is all over the place. We got updates on Destiny and Pxie situation. This Trump and Elon Hannity interview. I see PlayStation getting sued. It's probably still planes fucking falling out the sky and shit, man. It's a lot going on, man. Well, I'm just trying to stay sane in the membrane. This PlayStation stuff gonna be real short. I just want to make sure I have this for my Logic's Lens channel. If you're a gamer and into gaming news and updates and playthroughs, I have another channel called Logic's Lens where I put out my gaming content and stuff on there. I do like I said, I do news and updates and vouching for physical games, and I do when I just want to hang and play video games, I stream on there as well. And then I have Mid-South Gaming where I have been a little bit behind on getting to that too. Mid-South Gaming with me, Rastafuego, and D-Nice, where we just straight up play video games. Mid-South Gaming. All that shit is in the description of my channel and in my videos. So, yep, if y'all interested in that, make sure you hit that up. I'm going to get to this PlayStation stuff, though. So, for those that do not know, we have fucking Sony is being sued again, apparently, over the PlayStation Store pricing. And for those that don't know, I have been saying for the absolute longest that Sony's model, that not Sony, that digital games need to cost less. Digital games need to cost less because there's absolutely no reason that the physical games and digital games have the exact same price. All I'm doing is getting the same product with less. I don't physically have it. I can't resell it. I can't let somebody borrow. I can't trade with somebody. So if I want a physical thing to play my games and I'm paying $70, why on earth, when I pay for that digitally, it's the same price and I don't even have the physical thing and I can't resell it or return it or anything of the sort? You know, I mean, Sony, I don't know what Sony's return policy is. I know Steam lets you return, but, you know, under certain conditions. I don't know what PlayStation's return policy is with digital games. At least Steam has that option. I don't even know if Sony has one, and if they do, I'm sure it's not as lenient. But regardless, I'm glad this is happening because this is some pure bullshit. And the gaming sector is just not regulated to the extent that like music and film is. So I don't understand why gamers get fucked. And honestly, we spend the most on this fucking hobby. I think gaming is like one of the biggest profit-making forms of entertainment there is, if I'm not mistaken. Sony is facing another class action lawsuit over its PlayStation Store pricing. A Dutch consumer group called Pxie and Consument has alleged that Sony's PlayStation Store prices are artificially high and that the Japanese company is preventing gamers from buying digital PS4 and PS5 games elsewhere for a more competitive price. Research by the foundation shows that digital games cost an average of 47% more than their physical equivalents, while the distribution costs for Sony are lower. This isn't too surprising, and why we recommend purchasing the disc version of Sony's console in our PS5 disc versus digital comparison. Facts. There's no reason to get a digital only console. It's just all you're doing is hurting yourself. Yeah, you spend $100 less on a console, but you're gonna be paying more for games. Like I be seeing games on the store that still be like $60, $70, and I could go to GameStop and it's like $45. Or sometimes even less. Like I be seeing them like, why don't y'all bring the price down on this old ass fucking game? And they don't. And like it's just all, you're just getting less for no reason. You don't have to. You can get the console with the disc drive and still be able to play all you get. You don't have to buy a single physical game. But you know what? You have that option if the opportunity ever presented itself. The class action lawsuit, as spotted by tweakers, isn't the first to be filed against Sony over its pricing policies. Sony is facing similar claims in Portugal and has a $5 billion class action lawsuit filed in the UK in November 2022. In the statement, the lawsuit alleges the gaming industry is now bigger than the film, TV, and music industries combined. That's what I said. I said it's the biggest form of entertainment. Sony, as the manufacturer of the world's best-selling console, is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, players in the market. And with such power comes responsibility. In the EU, it is illegal for large companies to abuse their position to make more profit at the expense of consumers. Yet Sony does not fully comply with these rules. When you buy a digital game or in-game content, Sony ensures that this can only be done via its own PlayStation Store. Sony keeps the market for itself in this way and can keep the prices artificially high. As a result, you pay more without getting anything extra in return. This is also called the Sony tax. Yeah, like that's what I said. You don't get anything. You get absolutely nothing by paying less for this shit. I don't understand why anybody would choose to just pay more to get less. A Dutch consumer foundation, yeah, the same thing. That seemed like a very short. It was meant to be short. The Japanese company abuses its dominant position in the console market, says Pxie. Millions of Dutch people have been paying too much for PlayStation games and in-game content for years. Shit, not just Dutch people. I hope this opens the floodgates to lawsuits for every country affected by it. Like, this is some bullshit. All this shit is like, it's unreasonable that they think that they could just charge. It needs to. I don't know how they can regulate it, but something needs to happen. Somebody needs to step in and like make the call that like gaming companies that make games and they want to distribute them. You cannot charge the same price for a physical copy as the digital. Like it's absolutely nonsensical. I don't even know. Isn't it like with movies? Are all the digital movies cheaper than the physical? I'm like 99% sure that's the case. That digital movies are cheaper than the physical ones. It's some bullshit. And as somebody that's a Sony consumer, I'm happy. I want everybody to sue them that they can, and until they realize that they can't be doing shit like this, it's just unacceptable by any metric. This shit is not okay. All right, we finna get to some more nonsense. Trump and Elon sat down with Sean Hannity, and from the clips I've seen, this is absolutely embarrassing. Like I can't even believe we're a real country. It feels like a fucking a comedy skit at this point. What's happening? And to think that the president of the United States, the most powerful country in the world superpower, can't do anything without Elon next to him, and when he's next to him, he's speaking 80% of the time. Elon is doing most of the speaking when Jim and Trump is in the room. And it's just like, when did this drop? I know I'm super late on it, but the 18th, and today's the 21st. I'm late, but I got to it. Let's just see what the fuck Elon and Trump got to say, because I just can't believe we're at the point like, this is so weak. You see Trump pulling out chairs for other foreign leaders. Trump can't do an interview and Elon has to speak for him 80% of the time. This is crazy.
So he's working for free with Doge. He's kind of put a lot of his life on hold. And
he's working for free.
you sued Twitter a number of years ago. You just made him pay you $10 million?
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
I sued from long before he had it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really
I know, right, Lucas? Like, 'cause this is like, might as well, right?
did a number on me, you know, and I sued, and they had to pay. They paid $10 million settlement.
Crazy.
You're okay with that?
I mean,
He gotta be okay
with
with
the
it.
lawyers and you know the team running Twitter. So I said, you guys do what you think is the right. It makes sense.
I think it's fun.
I think it's a very low. I was looking to get much more money than that.
So you get
$10 million by suing X. He talking about it was low. I was looking to get more money. The president of the United States is talking about he wants more money. I cannot. I just can't.
gave him a discount when the
Not
law-
only the president, but allegedly a billionaire.
He got a he got a big discount. I don't think he even knows about it.
He's become one of your, if you read and believe the media, he's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the president. I just want to be clear about that.
I don't care about that.
They talk about working for free. What do Elon need to work for money for? Like, come on. You're saying it like it's just so noble. You're working for the president for free. He's the richest person on earth. What the fuck?
I know. I love the
You love the president.
I think President Trump is a good man, and he's, you know.
It's nice the way he said that, you know? There's something nice about it.
Really
Oh my God. This is it's nice. Did he just pat him on the leg because he said Trump is a good man? It's something nice about it. Trump is so fucking old.
It's nice the way he said that, you know? There's something nice about it.
It really is. You
He
know,
just love a compliment.
I mean, the president has been so unfairly attacked in the media.
Unfairly, please.
It's really outrageous. And I've at this point spent a lot of time with the president, and not once have I seen him do something that was mean or cruel or wrong.
Bro, he just said not once has he seen Trump do anything mean, cruel, or wrong. Fam, did we just forget about January 6th? Did we forget about him lying about the election? Did we forget about saying you're going to date a 10-year-old in 10 years? Did we forget about E. Jean Carroll? I mean, you didn't see that, to be fair, but he got convicted. I mean, not convicted. He was found liable. I'm sorry. Did we forget about the cats and dogs? Did we forget about lying about FEMA? Like, it's endless. It's so many things, and I can't, like, I can't get it all out, but we all know, like, he's done things and whatever. If we see it front facing, God knows what he does behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. It's not free. Like, just because it's not like, here's your check for the work you're doing, but Elon's stock price went up. Elon's worth went up since he been in this fucking presidential race and won.
Not once.
You know, I've known him for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anybody take as much as he's taken.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this, and I'm like, how do you deal with it?
Did I have a choice?
Well, you would say that to me. I'm like, what am I going to do? Worry about it? And, you know, and then culminating in 2 assassination attempts, which resulted in your endorsement.
Well, I was going to do it anyway, but that was a precipitating event, yeah.
That speeded it up a little bit?
Yeah.
The day of the
I
assassination.
didn't know that.
Yeah. It sped it up, but I was going to do it anyway.
Mr. President, with your indulgence, I'm convinced that people only know a little bit about Elon. I don't think they know everything about Elon, because as I studied for and prepared for this interview, I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. I think people will think about Tesla. Democrats are demonizing you and trying to make the country hate you. I just want people to understand you a little bit better, and the person that you've gotten to know and have now put a lot of trust in.
Sure.
And, you know, just let's go over a little bit of your bio, starting with PayPal and how you became involved in Tesla and SpaceX and Neuralink and all these.
A while. I mean, you know, I think the way to think of me is like I'm a technologist, and I try to make technologies that improve the world and make life better.
Your shirt.
Yeah, and that's why like my T-shirt says tech support, because I'm here to provide the president with technology support.
Spot on.
And now that may seem like, well, is that a silly thing? But actually, it's a very important thing, because the president will make these executive orders, which are very sensible and good for the country, but then they don't get implemented, you know?
Oh my God. You make all these executive orders that are sensible and good for the country. So, according to who, bro? If it's so good and important for the country, why the fuck won't he go through Congress to get shit passed? Doing all these executive orders, that is the weakest form of governing.
If you take, for example, all the funding for the migrant hotels, the president issued an executive order. Hey, we need to stop taking taxpayer money and paying for luxury hotels for illegal immigrants, which makes no sense. Like, so obviously, people do not want their tax dollars going to fund high-end hotels for illegals, and yet they were still doing that even as late as last week. And so, you know, we went in there and we're like, this is in violation of the presidential executive order. It needs to stop. So what we're doing here is one of the biggest functions of the Doge team is just making sure that the presidential executive orders are actually carried out. And this is
for you to, and this is just more egregious that Elon isn't an American. Like, that's what makes all of this more egregious, is that he's just sitting here pretending like he understands. I'm not saying he don't understand. I don't think he understands fully, but trying to like preach to Americans about what democracy is and literally has zero understanding of what it is. Y'all voted for a president, so everything he says is supposed to be right in the law. Like, come on. You didn't even accept that from Joe Biden. So why the fuck is it because you support somebody, every single thing that they say is what's right and what should be done? Fuck the Constitution, fuck Congress, fuck all that. Trump is the president, so everything he says should be implemented. Take that shit to the UK, bro. They do that monarchy shit. We don't do that shit. So for you to sit here and act like something is just gone awry and now everything Trump says is what's supposed to happen is some pure bullshit. And like I said, and him not being American, it just makes it so much more crazy.
This is a very important thing, because the president is the elected representative of the people. So he's representing the will of the people. And if the bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people and preventing the president from implementing.
Yeah, and it's so, like you said, Lucas, it's so obvious. That is what's crazy about it too. It's like there's no hiding it, and it's everybody's like, yeah, MAGA. It's like, what? Not likely. I don't know why your chat didn't show up in the YouTube chat. I don't know why I see it, but that's weird. Yeah, and like he's trying to like, it's like Elon is trying to police the whole world or something. Like, who the fuck he really thinks he's Tony Stark, bro?
people want, then what we live in is a bureaucracy and not a democracy.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
You're both aware, you have to be keenly aware that the media and the punditry class, not that, you know, I think you've proven they have no power anymore because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was, you know, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every late night comedy show, 2 cable channels. They just threw everything, lawfare, weaponization.
Sure.
And now I see they want you two to start, they want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try, oh, President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
Oh, I see it all the time. They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, you know, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. You know, they said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency
Fair point, Lucas.
to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say,
Y'all
"It's- will
laughing.
be
Elon is the fucking president right now. Everything you do, it has to coincide with what Elon wants, bro. Like, stop. I don't care what you say. You're not calling the shots. You don't know what's happening. Elon doesn't know either, to be honest. Just throwing out stuff like, hey, everything's fraud because I don't like it. Like,
be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, it's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president. Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest thing.
I hate how he says that as if it's like he's some victim, as if he doesn't engage in crazy activity. Like, you do the most unhinged shit, and then you be like, nobody's gotten as much bad publicity as me. Obviously.
I get 98% bad publicity. I could do, outside of you and a few of your very good friends, it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it. They really see what, Elon, the people are smart. They get it.
Oh, American.
Yeah, they do,
They
actually.
get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
And at the end of this interview, what I would like is I want people to know the relationship and know more about you. What is the relationship, Mr. President?
Well, I respect him. I've always respected him. I never knew that he was right on certain things, and I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. He did Starlink. He did things that were so advanced and nobody knew what the hell they were.
I just love this idea that simply because Elon has done a lot of stuff with tech, then he should be part of government. But they would be pissed if Bill Gates if this was Bill Gates, the right would be like, oh my God, they would be shit pissing and coming over everything in sight if Bill Gates was here. Like, if this was Bill Gates and not Elon Musk sitting next to fucking Kamala, they would lose their shit.
I can tell you in North Carolina, they had no communication. They were wiped out. Those people were, you know, they had rivers in between. Land that never saw water, all of a sudden it was a river and a vicious, like rapids. People were dying all over. They had no communication. They said, you know, Elon Musk. They didn't really know I knew him. I said, yeah. He said, could you get Starlink? It's like the first time I ever heard of it. I said, what's Starlink? A communication system. That's unbelievable.
I have it.
Yeah, and he said, I called him and I said, listen, they really need it. And he got like thousands of units of this communication, and it saved a lot of lives. He got it immediately, and you can't get it. I mean, you have to wait a long time to get it. But he got it to him immediately, and I said, that's pretty amazing, and I didn't even know he had it. We watched the rocket ships, and we watch Tesla. I think, you know, something that...
What does any of that have to do with the government? Like, please enlighten me, Trump. What the fuck does Tesla and Starlink and all that shit have to do with being able to run a country or know what the fucking budget should be for Congress or trying to dictate it at that? And then being the right-hand man to the president, Elon has probably spent more time with Trump than J.D. Vance. Like, what the fuck?
That had an effect on me was when I saw the rocket ship come back and get grabbed like you grab a beautiful little baby. You grab your baby. Like you grabbed it like a baby. You grab a beautiful little baby.
I bet you he wanted to say, so grab a nice piece of ass. I bet you that's what he really wanted to say. First of all, what the fuck? Again, he can make a rocket come and land. Look at Elon. He's like, yeah, stroke me even harder. He is so happy right now. Like, look what he's saying about me. It's like, what the fuck does any of that have to do with governing?
Tesla. I think, you know, something that had an effect on me was when I saw the rocket ship come back and get grabbed like you grab a beautiful little baby. You grab your baby.
You grab your baby. Of course, Nicole, of course you come at the fucking goofy ass part.
The rocket.
I've never seen.
Right, everyone, everything needs a hug, including rockets. You know?
No, but, and he said, you know, you can't really have a rocket program if you're going to dump $1 billion into the ocean every time you fly. You have to save it.
Right.
And he saved it. First time that I've ever seen that done. Now, nobody
Facts,
else can do
Shyamalan.
it. If you look at the U.S., Russia, or China, they can't do it, and they won't be able to do it for a long time.
Wait, Elon is in the U.S. Why did he say
First
that?
time that I've ever seen that done. Now, nobody else can do it. If you look at the U.S., Russia, or China, they can't do it, and they won't be able to do it for a long time. He has the technology. So you learn, I wanted somebody really smart to work with me in terms of the country, a very important aspect, because, I mean, he doesn't talk about it. He's actually a very good businessman. And when he talks about the executive orders, and this is probably true for all presidents, you write an executive order and you think it's done. You send it out. It doesn't get done. It doesn't get implemented. They don't implement it. Maybe they're from the last administration, and they are in some cases. You try and get them out as fast as you can. But I could, as soon as he said that, I said, you know, that's interesting. You write a beautiful executive, and you sign it, and you assume it's going to be done, but it's not. What he does is he takes it, and with his 100 geniuses, he's got some very brilliant young people working for him that dress much worse than him, actually.
Yeah,
they dress in just T-shirts. You wouldn't know they have 180 IQ.
Wait a minute. So he's your tech support.
No, he is.
I actually
but
literally
he's
am
much
tech
more
support.
than that.
I literally am tech support, though. But that's.
He gets it done. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it done. You get a lot of tech people, and you have people that are good with tech, but he gets it done. You know, I said in real estate, you had guys.
What?
I am tech support, though. But that's.
He gets it done. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it done. You get a lot of tech people, and you have people that are good with tech, but he gets it done. You know, I said in real
Red
estate,
dragon on me. It's just like it's my turn to suck you off. No, you sucked me long enough. I got you. Let me suck. I'll suck you, and then you can suck me, and then I'll suck you twice as harder. It's like, bro, this shit is
guys that would draw beautiful renderings of a building, and they'd draw the rendering, it would be great, and you say, great, when are you starting? But they were never able to get it built. They couldn't get the financing. They couldn't get the approvals. It would never get done. And then you have other guys that are able to get it done. You know, they could just get it done.
He's not saying anything. Trump does not know words. Like, Trump's vocabulary is getting worse as he gets older, which is a symptom of getting older. For everybody to be all on Biden and his age, Biden was aging terribly. Yes, like, of course. But we can't sit here and act like Trump's age isn't showing. Like, they get it done. They get it done. You know, tech, yeah, he knows what he's doing. He gets it done. He gets it done. You know, they know what they're doing. They get it done. Like, what the fuck? That's what y'all want y'all president to be up here saying?
In real estate, same thing in this. He gets it done.
And
so when he
orange.
said that, he said, you know, when you sign these executive orders, a lot of them don't get done. And
Gee, I have no idea.
And he would take that executive order that I'd sign, and he would have those people go to whatever agency it was. When are you doing it? Get it done. Get it done. And some guy that maybe didn't want to do it, all of a sudden, he's signing. He just doesn't want to be bothered.
What the fuck is he talking
orders
about?
have to be codified into law? You need the Republican Congress
and
to
they will
follow
be.
up.
A lot of them will be. Yeah.
No, they
Look,
won't.
In the meantime, we have 4 years.
No, they
the
won't.
beauty is we have 4 years. That's why I like doing it right at the beginning. Because an executive order is great. I mean, the one problem, it's both good and bad. Because when they did all these executive orders, I've canceled most of them. They were terrible. I mean, we're going to go radical left.
He's already not aging well. For him to want to be president is going to get worse.
Communist, okay, it was crazy there.
Who's a
For some,
communist?
They were terrible. I mean, we're going to go radical left communist, okay, it was crazy there.
Really crazy.
Executive orders were so bad. If they ever got them codified, you'd never be able to break them. So the damage that Biden has done to this country, and it's not even Biden, it's the people that circled him in the Oval Office, okay?
He got
But
some
the
nerve.
damage they did to this country, in terms of,
What
let's
damage?
say, open borders, you know, there's so many things, but open borders, where millions of people poured into our country, and hundreds of
The borders were never open.
thousands of those people are criminals. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're gang members, they're people from prisons from all over the world. And we have a great
Yeah, I think Tesla is on the decline, and that's the most successful thing he has had.
guy, Tom Homan, and he is doing so incredibly. You saw the numbers, they're down like 96%.
95%.
He is a phenomenal
What,
guy.
95%
And
what?
Kristi Noem is doing an unbelievable job. And he wanted her. He said, she's so tough. And I said, I don't think of her as that way. You know, she's very nice. He said, no, she's so tough. And she is. I see her with the
Says the
horses.
criminal.
She's riding the horse.
You feel me?
She's great. But the team we have is really unbelievable. But those executive orders, I sign them, and now they get passed on to him and his group and other people, and they're all getting done. We're getting them done.
Let me go back
But a lot of
little
them
bit to
didn't get done because they were unconstitutional.
background, because it's
Sure.
Well, not a lot.
It's beyond
Some.
impressive. You were the chief engineer, for example. You were an early believer in Tesla. You became the CEO, and then the chief engineer, which was phenomenal. SpaceX, same thing, which is unbelievable. I mean, you were the first.
Elon definitely doesn't. He really looks like the rich millionaire. Like was it Incredibles? What was the short? What's his name? Syndrome. Am I thinking about the right? What was the villain's name in Incredibles? The one that he did. The one that was jealous of Mr. Incredible. He wanted to, get back at him for how he did him when he was a kid and shit. Elon looks like the rich guy that's like wants to be the superhero, but is really evil as fuck and has selfish intentions and doesn't really give a fuck about people or understand them. What the fuck was his name in The Incredibles? The villain, the short guy. I want to say Syndrome, but I feel like that was like one of the heroes that got locked up or something. I don't remember.
Private company to send
Maybe it was
astronauts
Syndrome.
successfully into space.
Like, come on. He doesn't look like a good guy. I'm sorry. Like, the jokes write themselves. This is not the good guy in the story of America. It was Syndrome. Yeah, like, he gives that vibe. He has the lazy eye and everything. I kind of got a lazy eye too, but you know what I'm saying? But look at his is extreme. He's just not the good guy in this story at all. Didn't Trump say Hamas was using thousands of condoms in America making bombs? Yeah, I don't remember if they said they was making bombs, but I know he said we was sending billions. Well, the issue is he said we were sending it to Hamas, and that wasn't the case. But I think they did say something about bombs. Man, look, you never know with Trump. I'll believe. If it don't make sense, I'll believe Trump said it.
Private company to send astronauts into orbit.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
He's going to go into orbit soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go to Mars.
Look at him,
He's
just stupid. Like he just has to compliment him at every. Oh, that was bogus.
That's pretty
At
deep.
every
going to
turn.
go into orbit soon.
Okay.
He's
No,
gonna go into
to
orbit.
Mars. He's gonna fly
Starlink.
on his-
At some point. Yeah.
Is in
I mean,
over.
they always ask me, like, do you want to die on Mars? And I say, well, yes, but not on impact.
Starlink is in 100 countries. This is going to be hard. I feel like I'm interviewing two brothers here.
You go ahead.
Star Shield, which could be used for national defense.
Yeah, it is already being used for national defense.
Then you have what is it called? Optimus, a part of Tesla.
The robot, yeah.
A robotic arm. Then you have an AI arm. And then you have something that really fascinated me. And it's called Neuralink.
Yes.
You might help.
Keep in mind, the right was always talking about COVID putting a chip in you and all this shit without your knowing and all this, and they're gonna put microchips in our brains. Meanwhile, Elon is actually right now finna talk about putting chips in people. Now he's saying it's to help, but I don't know how many people feel about getting a chip inserted in them to do something. I don't personally know how I would be that comfortable with it. DC Universe, yeah, the Penguin becomes the mayor of Gotham. What could possibly go wrong? You feel me? Like, that's literally what's happening right now. It feels like The Boys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the blind to see,
Yes.
and people with spinal cord injuries, that they can recover, where in the past, how close is that
Yeah.
to becoming a success?
Neuralink, we've implanted Neuralink in 3 patients so far who.
Success.
Neuralink, we've implanted Neuralink in 3 patients so far who are quadriplegics, and it allows them to directly control their phone and computer just using their mind, just by thinking. It's like, so we call this product telepathy. So you control your computer and phone just by thinking. and it's possible to actually control the computer and phone faster than someone who has working hands.
No.
The next step.
Appreciate you, Iron Zodiac. Appreciate you, man. I don't even believe what the fuck he just said is possible. I don't see that as happening.
They control their phone and computer.
Success.
Neuralink, we've implanted Neuralink in 3 patients so far who are quadriplegics, and it allows them to directly control their phone and computer just using their mind, just by thinking. It's
I don't believe
so we call
that.
this product telepathy. So you control your computer and phone just by thinking, and it's possible to actually control the computer and phone faster than someone who has working hands. Then the next step would be to add a second
Red Dragon, I'm not
Neuralink
sure if they
implant
did.
past the point where
I don't know.
the neuron's damaged, so that somebody can walk again,
think.
and so they can have full body functionality restored. And
you like Bobby, right?
I like Bobby, actually. Yeah, I think.
fuck is
I
Bobby?
supported Bobby Kennedy. I think he's unfairly maligned as someone who is anti-science, but I think he isn't. He just wants to question the science, which is the essence of the science.
You want to question the science. He wants to question settled science. Shit that's like settled and understood. He's not like exploring new things. He wants to. Why are they pretending as if science hasn't been questioned and this shit that he's talking about hasn't been studied? I'm not against vaccines. I'm against not all vaccines. I just wanted to make sure that the vaccines are safe. Bitch, they've been safe for 50 years. Vaccines don't need relitigation, bro. Nothing is happening to anybody that gets vaccines.
The scientific method fundamentally is about always questioning the science.
Well, they didn't tell us the truth about COVID.
Correct.
That's for sure.
Yes.
And we learned a lot with the Twitter files. And that just then raises a question. You're the richest man in the world. You may not like that part. You're pretty competitive.
It's neither here nor there.
I've
I
known
don't
you
know
a
if it
long time.
matters.
But
That looked like it legitimately bothers Trump. And if it did, that's crazy. He looks like he was legitimately upset at that statement. That might bother you. He's like, it was a joke, but I think that really bothered Trump. Look at his face when he said that. He didn't even have a comeback.
you may not like that part. You're pretty
It's
competitive.
neither here nor there.
I've
I
known
don't
you a
know if it
long time.
matters.
That's why.
But he's on your team.
President.
Well, that's true. He can't top that.
He's good. You know, I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. I searched all over. I just couldn't do it.
I
To
missed
find
On your team.
president.
You're pretty competitive. Question. You're the richest man in the world. You may not like that part. You're pretty
It's
competitive.
neither here nor there.
I've
I
known
don't
you a
know if it
long time.
matters.
Trump blew.
That's why.
But he's on your team.
President.
Well, that's
Look, he like, well, I'm president. His little soft ass ego. Oh my God. He's like, well, I'm president, you know? And he like, if I wasn't president, I'll be the richest man in the world. Oh my God. Oh, that hurt.
true. He can't top that.
He's good. You know, I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. I searched all over. I just
Hey, I
couldn't-
like that for Doge. Destroy our government entirely. Yes.
I couldn't.
You,
I couldn't.
you really tried hard.
I couldn't find anyone smarter, right? So we had it for the country.
But this is the thing.
We settled on this
Well,
guy.
thanks for having me.
Bro, I swear, they touching each other way too much.
I'm just trying to be.
I ain't never seen Trump this happy with Melania.
This is the interesting. This is where we are as a society, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're doing all of these things. Nobody at Doge gets paid a penny, correct?
Well, actually, some people are federal employees.
Some are,
they do-
okay.
Yeah,
They're helping.
But it's fair to say that the software engineers at Doge could be earning millions of dollars a year, and instead of earning a small fraction of that as federal employees.
Okay, so just
And they're very committed people.
so
Yes.
you're committed to helping the blind see, people with spinal cord injuries recover.
Yes.
You're committed to getting to Mars. You're committed to rescue. You're going to help rescue next month 2 astronauts that I think were abandoned. They dispute that in an interview.
When are you
At the
getting
president's request or instruction, we are accelerating the return of the astronauts, which was postponed kind of to a ridiculous degree.
They got left in space.
They've been there. They were supposed to be there 8 days. They're there almost 300.
Biden.
They were put.
Yeah.
yes,
Talking
they
about
left-
Biden. Like, bro, now the astronauts that got stuck in space because of technical difficulties are stuck because of Biden. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, if that's the case, let's pin all these planes falling out the sky on Trump. No, like nobody's doing that in any serious manner. Like nobody's actually blaming Trump for the planes, even though it's under his watch. Now the astronauts that got stuck in space because Biden was president are stuck in space because of Biden. Give me a fucking break. And I saw this clip. Elon's finna fucking lie.
Up there for political reasons, which is not good.
Okay, it's not good. Now, if I had the weight of the pressure of doing that successfully on my shoulders, I think I'd be, but when we spoke before we did this interview, you are very confident. You think this will be a successful mission.
Well, we don't want to be complacent, but we have brought astronauts back from the space station many times before, and always with success. So, as long as we're not complacent.
When are you going to launch?
I think it's about 4 weeks to bring him back.
About 4 weeks?
Yeah.
And
we're being extremely cautious. Yeah.
You now have the go-ahead.
Yes. Well, thanks to you.
They didn't have the go-ahead with Biden.
Yes, they did. It was already scheduled to bring them back. They're just lying, and I just hate this consistent amount of lying he could do, and nobody's ever gonna check this motherfucker. Because even with the when he was up there saying Zelensky started the war in Ukraine and he's a dictator, nobody's correcting this man. I don't give a fuck if he's a president. He's lying.
Leave him in space. I think he was going to leave him in space.
Yeah, yes, he was going to leave him in space, even though they were already scheduled to come back this year. They were already scheduled to come back this year.
It's like when we were growing up, lost in space.
Yeah, he didn't want the publicity. Can you believe it?
Oh my God, this is.
And so,
yeah, bro, I don't even know why I do this to myself.
The president said, and then ask an overarching question. So, people get hit with Hurricane Helene. They have no communication with the outside world. You come to the rescue. You donated that, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. You donated to the people.
He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina. He saved a lot of lives.
And California after the wildfires?
California, but I mean in North Carolina where they were really in trouble. They had no communication. People were dying. They were dying of starvation. He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina.
Shamalama, I didn't know that.
Now you're going to rescue astronauts.
I know, because SpaceX is supposed to be bringing them back, right? But you saying they canceled it because they was having issues. But is SpaceX supposed to be bringing them back right now, though?
And now, and again, you do all of this. He did nothing. I would think liberals would love the fact that you have the biggest electric vehicle company in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be adored by the left,
Yeah, not anymore.
Less so these.
Why would he say that as if like the left did something to him when you're the one that disowned your fucking child because they're trans and then turned around and supported a fucking criminal to be the president?
He killed that, huh?
I mean, let's.
Yeah, F1. This is the first time I heard about Elon doing anything for Helene, and I'm not saying you saying he didn't. I didn't hear nothing about that. And granted, you don't always have to publicize what you do for a charity, but I didn't know anything about that till just now.
I really didn't.
Well, I mean, this whole sort of like they call it like Trump derangement syndrome, and you don't realize how real this is until like it's. You can't reason with people. So, like, I was at a friend.
Talk about it. You can't reason with people. Talk about it, Elon. Talk about it.
Friend's birthday party in LA, just a birthday dinner, and it was like a nice, quiet dinner, and everyone was behaving normally. And then I happened to mention, this is before the election, like a month or two before.
Wow.
I happened to mention the president's name, and it was like they got shot with a dart.
Making them pay is crazy.
In the jugular that contained like methamphetamine and rabies. Okay, and they're like, wow. And I'm like, what is wrong? Like, guys, like, you can't have like a normal conversation. Yeah. And it's like,
it's hard talking to people like you because you live in fucking Mars for real. Maybe that's why you're so obsessed with it. You live on Mars, bro. Yes, it's hard to talk to you because you are detached from reality. Like, I just cannot wait for the fucking documentary. I just can't. The Donald Trump documentary is going.
It's like they become completely irrational.
He has no idea, but if you're friends with him, you pay a price.
And that's what's crazy, F-Wood. It's like people, I don't care. You cannot like Biden all you want, but he was effective. People just act like because they didn't see something tangible every day he was in office or whatever, and then having to deal with the blowback of COVID, they want to act like Biden was just sitting on his hands during his presidency, and he's gotten the most large-scale legislation passed in modern history since in my lifetime. And not only that, it affected the normal, average, everyday person. And he did it in 4 years. He didn't even have 2 terms. Like, even if you're on the right and don't like Biden, he actually did things in his presidency. Like, you don't have to agree with not a single policy he did, but he got it passed through Congress. Multiple, on a large scale. Like, come on.
You know, it's like I walk into a restaurant in New York and it's like half the room it's daggers and they want to.
No, the eye daggers level is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like, I had like some invitation because so I got invited to like basically a big sort of damn event like that was, but it received the invitation like the beginning of last year, and I still attended even after I'd endorsed President Trump. And I didn't realize how profoundly that would affect, you know, how I was received. I mean,
Why the fuck wouldn't that change anything? You got invited before you endorsed Trump. It was a Democratic event, and you got side eyes. Fuck you expect?
I walk into the room and I'm getting just the dirty looks from everyone.
Yes,
like,
and not only did you endorse Trump, you paid to get him. I'm not gonna say, you know what I mean when I say you paid to get him in office. He didn't pay to get him in office, but he did a lot of spending to help this man win the election. Y'all know what I mean.
Looks could kill.
And you're a fucking liar.
I would have been dead several times over.
But
You could have got the looks for just simply being a liar.
Ashes on the floor.
Before Trump, that never happened, right?
No.
Oh, that was it? Shit. Fucking weirdos, man. These guys, like, these guys are out of their damn mind. I don't even understand how we're at the point that people are accepting this. He's lying. I want to see this, what he said about Zelensky. Stop. I want to see that shit. When he said he started I saw the clips, but I didn't see the full video.
As peace talks over the conflict in Ukraine continue without Kyiv's input, a public war of words between President Donald Trump and his Ukrainian counterpart.
Yeah, well, my biggest, like, the lying, and not even just lying, period, it's the way you lie. Like, you're lying about shit that we can confirm that's already happened in the past that we can go back and reference. That's my problem.
Heats up. Trump taking to his Truth Social platform to post a scathing attack on Zelensky.
A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we're successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia.
And he's always projecting. Why are you calling other people dictators? Like, describe your actions as president. Who you think fall more into the dictator camp? You or Zelensky? Stop.
Something all admit only Trump and the Trump administration can do. Biden never tried. Europe failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going.
Trump's tirade came as his envoy to Ukraine touched down in Kyiv. Keith Kellogg set to hold talks with President Zelensky on Thursday.
Hell yeah.
Despite the ongoing feud with his U.S. counterpart, the Ukrainian leader is calling for pragmatism from Washington.
It's crucial for us that the meeting with Keith Kellogg and our overall cooperation with America be constructive. Together with
nerve
America
of him to
and
call
Europe,
somebody a
peace can be
dictator,
more secure.
and then to say he started he gonna say, no, this ain't even what I was looking for. I was looking for him straight up saying that he was up there talking and said, well, you had 3 years. You had 3 years to do something about it.
Breaking news we want to take you out to, as we are hearing from President Donald. We're going to pull it up.
No, I want to see the fucking video, bro.
Get nothing back. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization, and that this war is far more important to
President Donald Trump, security. This one is
F1.
and I heard, I have
The war by not handing over their land before Russia invaded.
And I think I have the power to end this war.
No, you don't.
And I think it's going very well. But
Not
today
without giving fucking Russia what they want.
I heard, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal.
Like, what type of shit is that? Like, this is what I'm saying. These people are so detached from the reality of everything. And he says that, doesn't get challenged, and now everybody's on X like, first of all, let me tell you, I don't even like X, but I go for all the nonsense to see what's going on. Everybody's on there like Vladimir Zelensky's not a dictator and Ukraine didn't start this war. I don't know how this lie is getting spread. None of these hoes is tagging Donald Trump's account or directing that towards him, and he's the one that started this whole narrative. Piers Morgan bitch ass talking about he did the same shit, what I just said, and some more stuff. This isn't a lie that should be spread. It is un-American, blah, 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 all this other shit. Meanwhile, nigga, tag your BFF Trump who started it. Say it to him. Tag him. He's the reason this has all happened. The fucking president of the United States is lying to the world. And y'all not tagging him. Y'all just keep saying this isn't true. Bitch, we know it's not true. Tell Trump that. Make him address it. Y'all don't want Trump to address the fact that he's saying this shit? Oh my fucking God.
Major win for the Kremlin after they've been isolated from the West diplomatically and financially. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov already taking a victory lap, saying the U.S. is finally starting to listen to Moscow. European leaders in a panic holding an emergency summit to discuss their next moves. The French Prime Minister saying today we are witnessing an unthinkable alliance between Putin and Trump that is marginalizing Europe on its own soil. Back in the U.S., Trump continuing his purge of the federal workforce, leaving tens of thousands of Americans unemployed, including 700 at the CDC, amidst our nation's bird
And that
flu
too, like, think about the fact that he's like cutting back on all these things as if you're not taking away employment from American citizens, some of which probably voted for you. You're just going around slashing jobs. All these people are getting laid off. What the fuck are they supposed to do now? Mr. America First, Mrs. bringing jobs back, all that shit. You want to put America first. You want Americans to have jobs. You want America to thrive. Yet you're literally going around taking away jobs. What you think gonna happen? You think we're gonna start manufacturing cars from scraps and they're gonna go work at a steel mill or some shit? Making car metal or some shit? Or chopping wood? Or picking berries? Like, what the fuck do you think is happening? You think the people that you fire from the CDC and USAID, they people gonna go in the fields and pick cherries? Get the fuck out of here. Like, this is crazy. These are real people with real lives and jobs. Then some of these people probably voted for you, and now you're like, fuck y'all, we gotta cut back. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? This is crazy.
outbreak.
There's a lot of hardworking, dedicated people in that building that do incredibly important things for public health, and we're going to miss them if they're gone.
And now, for at least the second time, the Trump administration forced to try to hire back employees, figuring out their jobs were vital only after firing them.
Some of these workers focused on nuclear weapon security were immediately rehired. Do you have any concerns about how these terminations have
No, not at all. I think we have to just do what we have to do.
So, how in any way did that address what the fuck he just said? No, it's not. Like, everybody just lets him get away with this shit. Like, this is embarrassing. Even if you voted for Trump, how do you watch this and be okay with it? Yeah, you fire some people that you really shouldn't have fired because they're very important. You think that's a good thing? Yeah, no. We just gotta do what we gotta do. What?
Focused on nuclear weapons.
Their jobs were vital only after firing them.
Some of these workers focused on nuclear weapon security were immediately rehired. Do you have any concerns about how these terminations have
No, not at all. I think we have to just do what we have to do.
So among those being hired back,
we just have to do what we have to do. You've got to be kidding.
Realize that they protect our nuclear weapons, as well as USDA employees working
no,
on the
we just got to do what we got to do.
Reaching some of those because when they were fired, their access to email was shut off. ABC News also reporting tonight 10% of the workforce at NASA has been fired, and it appears the IRS is next. Cuts expected.
The IRS?
NASA has been fired, and it appears the IRS is next. Cuts
you firing people from NASA, and it's just crazy because again, they're going straight to all the places where the money is minuscule compared to the Pentagon. Like, what about the military spending? Excuse me. Like, what about that? Is that just irrelevant? You don't care about the military spending, which is the most money? And that too, Bayo, like, everybody talks about, yeah, Trump, he was a successful businessman. Successful is very subjective in this context. I don't know how much success we could talk about with that. Right, Nicole? Like, if you fire people from the IRS, now everybody just getting their taxes later. Like, you know, and you know what's so funny about all this? It's jobs where they're like firing people, where hiring people will make things more effective. Like, let's fire people from the IRS, even though they're already backed up on trying to get everybody that got over on PPP loans, even though people are waiting forever. I didn't get my taxes till May last year. I was livid, y'all. I was so fucking stressed out because I was like, bro, it's like, did I put my bank info right? Like, I was waiting on my taxes till, and I'm not saying like, if you hire more people, I would have got it sooner, but it could be. So like, I didn't get my shit till May, and mind you, I filed ASAP. I filed like late January. I didn't get my shit till May. I was livid, y'all. It was so stressful every fucking day trying to figure out. I'm like, bro, why the fuck won't I get my taxes? You know, and that's anecdotal, but it's just the thing, like, y'all want things to run smoother, but then you get rid of things that's already not ideal. You're getting rid of people in positions that's already, shit ain't even like what it should be. Y'all still trying to process PPP fucking lawsuits. Like, come on, bro. These niggas is crazy. Got a contract for FAA. When you bankrupt a casino, I don't think he cares as long as it doesn't. Yeah, he does, Jennifer. He does not care. He don't care about anything but himself. At period. Nothing matters if it affects Trump's, or if it affects Trump or the people that support him. That's when he cares, and that's the only time. If you don't support him and you're not him, fuck you. Fuck you. It doesn't. Fuck, you don't support me. I don't really care. He sat up there and said, well, you know, we're gonna condition things with California, and then Mike Johnson said the shit too. Like, you know, if you got to get voter ID, or else next time something happens in California, we're not gonna send you. Bitch, California makes the most damn money in this damn country. How you gonna tell them you ain't gonna get no help, and California produces the most money in this whole damn country? Are you shitting me? The hell is these people talking about? This shit is retarded. Like, I just don't get it. And that's what makes me so irate, because everything is ass backwards and people like MAGA. It's like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Do y'all not think about any of this shit at all? I'm getting stressed out. Probably finna watch something less stressful and more funny. I want a Jovan Bradley debate would be kind of hilarious. Should we, okay, do we look at a Jovan Bradley debate, which is quite funny, or Tim Pool's Culture War, where Myron debates Candace Horbach on whether men should cry in front of women? For those that don't know, Candace Horbach is I believe she used to be a adult film star. She used to be. I don't think she does it no more. Now she like does YouTube, I guess. So, and she still advocates for women and feminism and stuff like that. Facts. Small government to them means, I'm sorry, I'm squinting. My contacts ain't great. I'm waiting on a new pair because my contacts they gave me is not what it should be. Shit. All right, they're talking about it, but only how much they can make. Let's go with Eva Lovia. You want to look at you? You say, I want to see Eva. I want to watch Eva. I ain't mad at you. Oh, shit. All right, we're going to watch Eva Lovia debate Myron.
You are allowed to watch Hachiko. I think it's Richard Gere, and you can cry. And if the woman gets mad at you, you look her in the eyes.
You show
Okay. You shut your mouth.
I don't think, like, as the man or the leader of the family, you should be like crying in front of your wife and crying in front of your daughter. Like, that's not really good either. I'm saying, like, show vulnerability and like your capacity to love and like adore.
F would I always say that people that be like, Trump is a businessman. No, this is a fucking country. The goal isn't to maximize profit. It's a byproduct of a healthy government and society and economy. It is not the goal.
Family, right? Like, be emotionally present instead of emotionally distant.
I think the key is you need to make sure that this and I'm very reluctant to say this because a lot of guys watch me, so I want to make sure that they're not like being a
I want to
bitch
make sure I don't tell men to have a healthy fucking emotional state
in front of their girl, because what they'll do is they'll take that and they'll say, okay, I'm just gonna cry in front of my girl.
That's not what I'm saying. No.
See what this is already from rip. She literally put it in a perfect perspective that is hard to argue with, and now he's like, I don't want to say you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I could cry in front of my woman all the time. She specifically said, I'm not saying you should be crying in front of your wife and your kids all the time, but you should be able to have that vulnerability to cry when it's necessary. Myron says, well, I want to be careful how I word this because I don't want guys thinking, oh, yeah, now I can cry in front of my woman all the time. Nicole, you always stay ready with one in the tuck. That's crazy. Always like, goddamn, what the fuck?
And I'm very reluctant to say this because a lot of guys watch me, so I want to make sure that they're not like being a bitch in front of their girl, because what they'll do is they'll take that and they'll say, okay, I'm just gonna cry in front of my girl.
That's not what I'm saying.
See, she literally didn't say that. Oh my God, Myron is so fucking stupid.
So it's always got to be showing emotion from a position of strength, right? It can't be showing emotion from a position of weakness, I think, is the key here.
The last time I cried was when Mr. Bokus died, and I absolutely cried in front of my wife. Mr. Bokus, my kid. He was on the skateboard.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was one day, Ian, you were with him.
He died, unfortunately. I was in Miami.
Oh, you weren't there. I thought you were there. Well, someone was there in the morning, and it reached the point where he couldn't walk anymore. His kidneys were failing, and then I came in the morning, and he was laying there just groaning, and he couldn't walk. And I was like, this is it. We can prolong his
Unless it's an OnlyFans girl that doesn't do this type of shit.
By keeping him in. So I brought him out to the chicken coop, and I laid him in the grass.
I can't even just say OnlyFans girls, because like Candace is probably finna be more logical than him. And when he debates Jasmine Jafar, she always won in that way, and then he stopped letting her come on his show.
Which was probably 40 degrees, which I knew would lower his body temperature, and then he would die faster than just lying there, unable to move, breathe, drink, eat. And it was a brutal thing to do. Very emotional. It's just a cat, but he was our little mascot, and I don't give a shit. I fucking cried.
Yeah, and you were by yourself?
Oh, I cried like 12 times.
Yeah. I mean, look,
I had to carry his dead body.
I think with men, right? Like, you
gotta
do that in solitude, man. Like, I think,
see, like why the fuck can't you cry about your pet dying in front of your goddamn wife? Like, why is that a crime? Pets are like family. They are family. Like, that shit hurts, I'm certain. I just got a cat, and I don't even, like, the day that happens, I don't know what the fuck I'll do with myself because I love that cat so much. So it's just like, why does he think it's not okay to cry about your fucking pet dying? See, I don't know, man. Like, this just weak. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Woman? I cried in front of everybody who was watching me sit there.
Of course.
Exactly.
Well, I think in front of your woman, you know what I mean?
In front of Allison. Yeah. And I put Mr. Bokus in front of the chicken coop so he could look at the chickens one last time, and this was his end. And it was really sad but funny because the little dude was groaning and dying until he heard the bucking, and then he got so into it.
Lucas is that crying with a gun or an erection.
It's like I was happy to see this as I was sad. But my joke is...
Oh, shit, Jennifer, you know about the shape debate? Oh, God.
Only time it's acceptable for a man to cry is when his dog dies. And I mean that somewhat as a joke. Like he got so into it, and it was like, I was happy to see this as I was sad. But my joke is the only time it's acceptable for a man to cry is when his dog dies. And I mean that somewhat as a joke. Like if your kid dies, too, for real.
I was crying in my sleep this morning. I had a dream about my grandmother. I was with my grandma who's dead. And she was talking to me, and then it got to the point where she was like, "I want to take you over there," and I knew
you're
she
right,
was
Lucas.
Leave.
I think
and
it's an act.
Just put my head on her shoulder and I started crying.
It's an
and
act.
then my alarm went off, and I was like, "She was."
He thinks
over
going
there
to the
was
extreme
like
will make them
maybe
fall
it was like
into a more
she was
safe
leading
spot.
me towards it's time for you to wake up and for me to go. And I woke up crying, and then immediately went away because I knew it was a dream.
They say that on average men cry once a year and women cry once a month, and I'm like, I think I've cried like 3 times in 10 years. To be honest, 3 times maybe.
It's a good ratio.
It's just
and
how you cry.
It's like
it's a good ratio. Shut the fuck up.
a dead dog and it's a dead cat.
Like if you're crying because you're processing something,
Talking
and you
about a
come out stronger,
promotion.
that's impressive. But if you're crying and you just can't get out of it, or you won't let yourself stop, that's weak.
Of course.
I think the issue is what you're crying about. So there's very little reason a man should cry. Very little reason. But I think if it's death and it's a significant death or a meaningful death, like I don't think it's bad that a guy's crying over that. In fact, my concern would be, I feel like, bro, if cat's a little bit, I can acknowledge that. I have no problem saying that I cried when my cat died. He was our mascot and our friend, but it is a little silly. A dog, in my opinion, is more worthy of tears. I know.
What is this shit? When I thought Tim was making sense, he just fucking fumbles the hell out of it. God damn. So, first of all, if I'm not mistaken, cats live longer on average than dogs, if I'm not mistaken. So there's more bonding. And just because they don't have the exact same behavior as dogs, when there are cats that are like fucking dogs out here. Yes, you don't walk them and shit, but there are cats that are like dogs. Like there's something like, I heard like, not the Maine Coon. What the fuck is that cat? I forgot. I think it was a Balinese cat. They said the Balinese cat is like a little dog. Like the way they wants to play, they always want to be up under their owner and all that shit. And now it's like, a cat, I feel a little silly, but a dog is worth your tears. Bro, they're both pets that you love and care for a long time, a very fucking long time.
No cat lovers, sorry, but dogs are little loyal soldiers. They will die for you. They will stand for you. And when the dog dies, it is a sad moment. There are certain things where, if a family member died and you didn't cry, I kind of think any woman in a relationship with you might be concerned.
I know Tim cried after he lost that Russian money. I know he cried for that.
About you being a sociopath, but also
yeah, Myron did cry when he got demonetized. So is it okay to cry when you lose your job, Myron? Is that a time to cry? Can you cry if you lose your job?
To be honest,
because that's pretty much what happened. Your main source of income was gone.
With picking up women.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying don't cry. I'm saying don't cry in front of your girl.
But my point ultimately is don't.
What, like, if I'm with her in something, if I get a phone call and like my fucking cousin died, do I like leave the room and cry? So that if she comes, are you okay? Like, yeah, bitch, I'm okay. I'm not crying. Get away. Like, what the fuck?
Cry like a little bitch for stupid reasons. That's the issue.
Right.
I think there's a degree of understand. Like, I agree with you. And
Facts, Nicole. He ain't cried in front of the world, but his wife or his girl, that's not acceptable.
Actually, I'm curious what you think actually about watching a man cry and when you would find it acceptable.
I think all the situations we laid out make perfect sense. Like if there's loss of a loved one or a companion, if it's an animal, I think if you're, I'm trying to think of the moments where I saw a man cry and I was like, oh, that's not good. I would say if it's like about the relationship specifically, like let's say you're going through a hard time and like the guy's crying because the relationship is hard, that is immediate. Like I am no longer interested.
And it's fair to say that, like, yeah, as a man, generally crying in certain situations is like unattractive. It could be seen. It could be weak. It could be a lack of emotional regulation. And it's really the lack of regulating your emotions is what's unattractive, not the act of crying is not the issue. It's you crying at a time where it feels extremely unnecessary or it seems overblown given what's happening. That's what's unattractive. It's not the literal act of crying.
To actually like agree with you is we are wildly emotional, right? Like our cycles are 28 days and they are a whirlwind. So knowing that, we want to know that you're going to be able to be like this solid, like unshakable force.
Tron, is her name really Horback, or is that just like a play on? Because it's just your adult star name is Eva Lovia, and then your real name is Horback. Like, that just seems too ironic. Like, I just can't get with that being her real name.
but that's not to say you're not human. So again, like vulnerability, there's a difference between like expressing emotions and being emotional. Like women don't want to be with another woman, even though that's kind of like how they're training men these days, and then they wonder why it doesn't work. But we don't want you to be emotional. We just want you to have emotion. So like the stoicism thing works in the beginning, but at some point, like I want to know that the relationship that we have.
I'm just saying, Bayo.
It's
just too ironic for me
that you don't share with the rest of the world, and it makes that relationship more real and stronger, in my opinion, because no matter what, no matter how strong you are, you're gonna get sick at some point, right? Like the flu might take you down, old age is gonna catch up, and I think it's important to know that like the woman can also like support you in those moments, and that you're not just like the stoic robot that I'm not gonna like be able to accurately predict how that performs under pressure or like in a weakened state. Maybe, I don't know.
There's only one movie men are allowed to cry when watching, and it's Hachiko.
What is it?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
What about The Notebook?
No.
So hard during The Notebook.
Is the movie.
The Notebook did that. My wife made me watch it. I had never saw The Notebook. My wife made me watch it some months ago. I didn't cry, but I could definitely understand why women be crying for that. It didn't make me cry, but I don't know why he said that. I don't even know what the fuck Tim Pool is talking about.
It's the story.
Hey, bro, Lion King will make you cry. I don't know why he forgot about that. That shit, the Lion King will make you cry now. Shit, I think I still fight back tears when I watch the Lion King.
Of the Japanese professor who his dog would walk with him to the train station every day. And then when he got back from
they don't care, Lucas. It's just for this is internet shit,
would meet him
bro.
there and they'd walk back home together. And then one day the professor had a stroke while he was at the university teaching and never came back. And Hachiko waited for 10 years at the train station.
Oh.
Yeah, men are allowed to cry watching that, but nothing else.
Dog movies?
Never seen.
Well, it's literally this. It's not even the dog. It's a story.
Hey, Big Hero 6, Nicole. Literally, I don't know if you heard. I was talking to Watts. Big Hero 6 is like one of my top 5 favorite movies, and yes, I do. I did. Big Hero 6 a jerk a tear, boy. Big Hero 6 could jerk a tear, but that movie is, and not even just because of the emotional aspect of with Hero, but the story is just like, that movie is too fucking good. Like, oh my God, I love that movie so much.
Of unwavering loyalty and honor.
I heard Old Yeller made people cry. I never saw it.
But
oh yeah,
the story of Hachiko,
they said that. I watched. What was that? Papa's House. I think I watched Papa's House, and they showed they was trying to get the dad to cry. And they showed him Old Yeller.
It was so impactful in Japan, they built a statue for the dog at the
oh,
train
Bayo,
station.
if you didn't see Big Hero 6, oh my God. That's one of the best. I think it's Pixar. I don't think it's Disney. I think it's Pixar movies ever.
Is that the one with the, like there's like a hot air balloon with the dog on the cover?
I don't think
That's
so.
Up.
Is that the one with the...
Hachiko was so impactful in Japan, they built a statue for the dog at the train station.
Is that the one with the, like there's like a hot air balloon with the dog on the cover?
I don't think so.
That sounds like she's talking about Up.
I have to watch it.
Hachiko's a true story. Yeah, the dog, and there's a lot of stories like this. That's why dogs are epic. Hachiko kept going back to the train station.
Tron, you have a point. I don't want to see women cry, not even once a month. You're right. I don't care to see my wife or women that I've dated cry. Like, that's not acceptable. It's just that usually when women cry, you kind of like not surprised. I would hope that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are crying, it's a moment where I'm not shocked that you're crying.
To wait for the dude to come back, but he was dead. Everybody knew.
Nicole is funny. My wife would do that. She do that shit. La 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 la. She be doing that shit with me.
He was dead. And for so many people, it's so brutal to be like, I can't tell the dog the guy died because we can't communicate to him. And here he is waiting for 10 years. So men, you are allowed to watch Hachiko. I think it's Richard Gere, and you can
know
cry.
what? I know what he's talking about, but I don't remember that name of that movie. I remember something about a dog waiting for somebody I remember something like that, but I don't remember that title.
If the woman gets mad at you, you look her in the eyes with
Yeah,
anger
I don't think women cry once a month.
I'm crying for this
Not
dog.
an adult.
I think if you're in a good relationship and you're crying, that she would help you figure out why, and then you could move past.
Well, look. The point is, if you're crying like a little bitch for some stupid reason, like you spilled milk.
Yeah, if you're crying out of fear, that's not good.
Yeah.
If you're crying,
true.
Crying.
Yeah, and this is why I'm so strong against just not showing emotions to women, because every girl's different, right? Like, some women will like look at that and be like, what the hell, this guy's meek and weak. Other women might say, oh, I like it. And it's like, it's a Pandora's box that you don't really want to open up if you don't need to. I just don't think women in general are equipped to handle, male vulnerability and emotions that isn't controlled. So I think for men, the general advice is control your emotions. Don't cry in front of your girl. Be the rock, because quite frankly,
he says that, but I don't think generally people just cry for no fucking reason. Like men, even you don't even have to tell a man that. Like for the most part, men aren't just crying over conflict or something in front of their wife or their girl. Like that's just not a thing that people do on a regular basis. But he never even says like, if somebody passes away or, like something traumatic happens to you or a family member, or you're in agonizing fucking pain. Has that ever even been a thing he said? Like, if you're in agonizing pain, like if I got shot, am I not allowed to cry? Like, I don't get it.
You need to be the leader, and stoicism.
Facts, try. Yes, for those that don't know, Myron has just admitted. I think Myron's 35 years old, and he's just admitted like last week that this is his first like real long-term relationship. 35.
I agree with that. I would just say don't be weak in front of your girl. Don't be weak.
Yeah. And this is also controversial take again. This is why I don't listen to women. No offense to you. I don't think like I think women give really bad advice to men when it comes to being attractive, because and I'll show you what I mean by this. So on my show, when we have the girls on, I actually give them mics, right? And what I'll do is I'll role play and I'll be a female. I'll be like, okay, I want you to attract me. And
this is stupid. He's finna act like this means something because people aren't able to be improv actors or anything like that. Like, what the fuck? He puts women on the spot to pretend to be a man to pursue a woman. No, a lot of people can't do that. I barely could probably pretend to get a woman as a man that really does try to get women at a point. Well, I used to. So if you put me on the spot, like, yeah, show me what you do to attract a girl. Like, I'm not an actor. I don't know. If it's a real setting and I really have a shot, my behavior, I'm not an actor. So this absolutely means nothing. He's asking 20-year-old women to role play as a man and show me what you would do to get a woman, as if like that's some type of expertise they've worked at. That means nothing, bro.
Go ahead and behave like a regular girl.
Red Dragon facts. He's like, yeah, Myron said, let me get in my bag real quick.
Oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, I'm, yeah, we can hang out sometime, whatever. And their job is to get me on a date. And I find it amazing how when she's the guy and I'm the girl, she doesn't know how to navigate or deal with typical objections women give when men are hitting on them, right? Because there's girls out there that'll like you, but they'll give you objections to kind of just see how you react to it. And when I employ these same tactics, like women have no idea how to overcome them. And I say all that to prove my point that men should never listen to women when it comes to dating, ever.
If you made, so there's an episode, I think it's...
You're not going to address how stupid that example is? No, of course not.
Orville. You ever see that show? You probably haven't.
No.
But there's one of the, it's a comedy version of Star Trek, basically, by Seth MacFarlane. And in one of the episodes, they have like the holodeck, the simulation thing, and they're trying to teach this guy how to pick up chicks.
Like, so I know Myron be ready for that damn role play. He like, I can pull out the role play? Like, man, I can fit to be a woman today?
Let's go. They're at a bar, and there's a woman sitting down, and then he walks up to her and he goes, hey, how's it going? And she looks at him right away, and she goes, wow, let's go back to my place. And he's like, okay, hold on, what is this? And like, I'm sorry, the difficult setting was at a 1. And then he's like, okay, let me fix it. And then he goes to the woman, he's like, how's it going? She goes, ugh, excuse me, I'm married. And he's like, oh, come on.
Yeah. And
put a woman in one of these simulators.
That was funny.
I would love to see a woman try to pick up a woman in like, as a man though. Oh, it wouldn't be.
No, because we've literally like done the experiment and it's comedy. Like the girls, like they'll say, oh, I have a section, come hang out, whatever.
It's crazy.
And they use all the bad pickup lines that they complain that men use on them. And it's like, and they use all the bad pickup lines that they complain that men use on them. And it's like, fuck, it's mind-boggling. Bro. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Do you really think that you say
when women get men, they're not like tallying up the pickup lines or all the shit that made them attracted to them. So they probably don't even really know till some shit happens. Like women aren't documenting the reasons that they like guys that approach them. Like they just go off what the fuck is going on in the moment. I don't even know what I did to attract the women I did in a lot of cases. Like, so that's why I said, like, if you ask me to, as a guy that actually like talks to women, if you ask me to show me what I do, I wouldn't be able to do it on the spot because every situation is different. And it's like, you got to go with what's happening in real time. Like, it's not always going to play out the same way. It's just something you just do in the moment. Like, I don't have a strategy. It's just not like everything's just not this simple as he wants to pretend it is.
You're going to give this girl $1,000 going to work? And she's like, yeah, guys do it to me all the time. And I was like, do you go out with them? And she was like, no, I don't. And I was like, so why the hell would you try it here? But this is what I mean when I say, like, most women have zero clue what it takes to be attractive as a man.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m.
No, you have not. Oh, God. We've done the experiment. No, you have not. Yeah. Jennifer, I agree, but I don't agree. The reason that sometimes is an issue is because sometimes who people are isn't attractive to a lot of people. Some people are like really awkward people and they just don't have the social awareness to be able to just be themselves and get people. So that's why I don't think like dating coaches as a thing, period, is bad. I think bad dating coaches are bad. You know, just like bad lawyers are bad. So I think there is some people out there, and I don't even think it's a lot. I think there's some people that's socially awkward, don't understand social cues, you know, may have anxiety, stuff like that, where they do need help to figure out how to talk to people. And sometimes when you just say be yourself, it won't work in a lot of situations. Just depends. You know what I'm saying? So. But generally, yes, if you're a normal, functioning person that can understand social cues and has social awareness, you can be yourself, yeah. I'm gonna eat this lunch and all right, yeah. Matter of fact, I gotta get in the Discord, so I'll be in here when you're ready. Okay. So, they got some more conversations. What else did I have? Yeah, when Tron get on, we're going to talk about this Destiny Pxie shit. When Tron gets on. We could watch another section of Myron and Candace. Okay.
It's not public because it's on the internet.
The United States should ban adult content from the internet. That's what Myron argues.
It's not happening.
That's public.
Right? It's not public. You have to log onto your phone. How would you say that's public? You're paying to
children
enter the
can get access to it. Candace, you're saying you don't want to say pro porn because you think there's problems with it.
Yes.
But your position would be that people should be allowed to make and distribute it. I mean, that seems fairly simple, but where are we at?
What do you mean, where are we at?
Where we at?
Well, what's the issue, right? Do we want to say ban porn?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, I'll let her give your position, and then you can. Yeah.
So I think like the thing that's trending right now on X is ban porn, and everyone's trying to make this really big political statement about it, and just to make it illegal outright. And I don't know if that's really well thought out in the sense that if you start with one thing and you use obscenity as the reason to get rid of it, then that's going to trickle down into other things. If you're using the Miller test,
a scouter level,
to establish whether or not it should be protected under freedom of speech, there are a lot of other things that could possibly fail that absolutely shouldn't.
Thank you for fixing that camera, man. Okay. Good job, because that was actually bothering me. The camera angle. He's like, wait a minute. I'm so glad they fixed that. Nicole, I don't know what you like in real life, but I'm not gonna lie. People that just can't handle personalities like yours, I could see them saying that. I'm not going to lie to you. Some people are so reserved and so like maybe shy that when somebody like you with the jokes and I'm not saying you loud, you don't seem like you loud, but like your energy is probably overwhelming to those that can't handle it.
Three-pronged, right?
Yeah, so it has to be presented in front of like a reasonable average person, and if they see that it's like if they would consider it obscene or not, then by community standards essentially, and then they also look at if it provides any other value, scientific, political, artistic, and there's like one other category. So basically, it has to apply to the community as at a reasonable standard. Twofold, and then also present like some kind of value.
Oh, so
right?
Everybody would want to ban then?
Well, no. So it actually passes. So that's the thing that people don't understand. Like, and then
the threshold for obscene is really high. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't get banned.
Let's mention this too. Like Ian made the point that it's not a monolith.
Right.
So depends on the porn you're showing the person.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So traditional vanilla hetero porn by default is probably going to pass the test. So when you say ban porn, are you saying like the really extreme stuff at kink? Because I would probably be on board with like a lot of that should probably not be legal. Because once you introduce money, I don't know that you can really consent to certain levels of abuse. You know what I mean? So when we say porn, I think we need to introduce money. I don't know if like a lot of that should probably not be legal. Because once you introduce money, I don't know that you can really consent to certain levels of abuse. You know what I mean? So when we say porn, I think we need.
She said, once you introduce money, I don't think you can consent to certain levels of abuse. I feel like she's trying to say if money's involved, you're consenting to abuse, which you can't do. But I don't agree because some people legitimately like being, for lack of better words, tortured, when they engage in adult activities. And paying them to do it, they just made a choice if they're an adult. Like I would argue that some people have jobs that are more dangerous than engaging in adult activities on film. So if they compensated for the danger that they're putting themselves in, it's not abuse. That's like any job. So I don't agree. If that's what I think that's what she's trying to say. And if anybody has a different understanding of it, then help me out. Nova was good. You see you debated. We watching Pim Tool's Culture War, but Myron is talking to a former adult actress, and they're arguing. I'm selling my time, experience, and service for money, not a bit. Yeah. So if I'm understanding what she's saying, I don't agree with that. Like even if the kink is beyond, if like 0.0002 of the population like that kink, and it's like 7 people globally that watch that shit and they want to do it and they're getting compensated for it, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Like people get killed on certain jobs because they're risky, but they're engaging in that risk for compensation because they're a consenting adult. I don't think that's right. I don't care what the kink is. It's not abuse if you're agreeing contractually to get paid to do it.
Need to kind of narrow down like what do we mean by porn, because is that also erotica, is that nudes, is that solos? Like the span is so vast that I think you have to say like what is porn? Is it a magazine? Is that still porn?
Wait, hold on. So you're saying that if like 2 people are going at it, just regular old vanilla, people don't consider that obscene?
No, because it's a natural behavior. So the obscenity part would be like, oh, that it's getting filmed or that someone's getting money for it. It's the act. So that's the reason that like children are protected, right? Like that is obscene. It is though. You can look at the rulings.
You put 2 people out in the middle of the street and have them go at it, and that's going to be obscene.
No, but it's not saying that public sex is okay, because that's not okay. That's illegal. It's saying is sex being recorded between a man and a woman?
It's public sex.
It's not public.
It's not. Is he comparing people on the street versus access to adult sites? That is not the same thing, you fucking idiot. So
on the internet, it's not happening.
That's public.
Right? It's not public. You have to log onto your phone. How would you say that's public? You're paying to.
Children can get access to it.
They sure can, yeah. And that's
bookstores are.
Children can get access to plenty of things. This is stupid. Tim, that doesn't make sense. It's not meant for children, and that falls on the parent. Children can see a rated R movie, they shouldn't, or a TV mature movie. That doesn't make it public. That's not the same thing.
Are public.
But do you who should be in charge of access when you get to that point? Like, is it the parents' responsibility? What I see is a lot of. You don't think so at all?
I think like adult bookstores, we have laws where it's like you got to show ID if you want to get in. The idea that we're going to be like, nah, kids on the internet, you can look at whatever you want. Wait, why?
What the fuck are you talking about, Tim?
So at all?
I think like adult bookstores, we have laws where it's like you got to show ID if you want to get in. The idea that we're going to be like, nah, kids on the internet, you can look at whatever you want.
No, nobody's saying that, you fucking idiot.
Wait, why? Since when?
Those adult bookstores, though, you wouldn't have to show ID if you were like a 50-year-old man with a beard.
Sure.
But on the internet, it's blanket. They can't.
Why? These people are pretending as if the adult stuff on the internet is put in spaces meant for children. They're not put in spaces meant for children at all. What the heck are we talking about? I ain't gonna lie, Zodiac. You'll find some here and there adult. When they say bookstore, they're talking about like a porn store. They're around. They're few and far in between, but they still around.
No, I don't think so. It's a waste of people's time.
Yeah, or behind the website. Like, I think a lot of them say, "Are you 18?" Which, yes, I'm not against any stronger ways to verify age before getting on websites. Now, some places, I think, like now they want your credit card, which I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. But you know, I'm not against ways to keep kids off of adult sites.
Like, and I don't want to give the government my data. Then
don't get access to it. You want to buy booze, they card you either way. The law is that if you
they don't card 57-year-old men.
If you're going to let me finish, the laws in most places said if you appear under 60.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of places.
Yeah, it is like if they look under like 50 years old, then card them.
Like the casino over here, it says if you appear 30.
I see 30 a lot.
Yeah, it says if you appear to be under 30, you will be carded.
Mm.
And there's some liquor stores. The age is different in different states, but they set the super high threshold. If you're a 40-year-old man, you get carded. We do this to protect kids. I don't know, Myra, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Miller test that she's referring to, it's a 3-pronged test. Basically, obscenity is like the main.
You gotta stop with the 3 X's. Now I'm noticing it like it look crazy.
Factor that distinguishes if it's going to be allowed or not. And, as we progress as a society, that obscenity has become a higher and higher threshold to reach. And most standard heterosexual porn, like she was saying, is considered legal in the United States. Now, when it comes to my stance on porn, should it be completely illegal? I would like that, but ideally, I know that this is a capitalistic country and the First Amendment is a thing, and you got the freedom of expression, et cetera, to a degree. So my thing is, I think it needs to be heavily regulated, and I don't think it should be on X at all. I think X is more of a political discourse app.
Myron just literally made X everything he wanted to be. He said, yeah, I don't think porn should be on X, even though it's been on there for God knows how many years. Since I literally care about politics and that's all I really engage with on there, it shouldn't be any porn on X because I don't like it. And Elon said it's supposed to be a place of free speech, so I should be getting paid for everything that I say on X because it's supposed to be a free speech platform. So everything I feel about X should be what applies because that's how I feel about it.
It's an app to create, have a discussion with ideas. So I think if we are going to have,
you're right, and that's why he got to stop because he know what he's doing.
I think it needs to be heavily regulated and taxed, and we need to put barriers on it where it's not easily accessible and as ubiquitous as it is now in society.
So would you say the same when it comes to like any kind of like extreme violent content? Should that come off as well? Because I would argue that porn can be political, and it is because like everyone's talking about it. So in its nature, it is political. So if
porn is political,
I think so. But if not,
also
because it's part of, we've fought to get it protected under the First Amendment, and that's why it's trending right now, is like whether or not that does qualify as freedom of expression, freedom of press, and ultimately it's kind of like it's showing how much sovereignty and agency you have over your own body.
Yeah, I see your perspective, but I think, putting porn on the same level as like freedom of speech, where we're actually having real discourse that is important, I think that's not on the same level. I think porn would be at a lower level there where it doesn't necessarily deserve the same level of protection as political discourse, because political discourse is important. That's why our founding fathers founded this country. I don't think they were standing around thinking like, dude, we're really trying to beat our meat without problems. Like,
founding fathers had a bunch of pictures, and it's like, and considering the First Amendment, look at this.
They weren't traversing the Atlantic Ocean, dying through scurvy, saying like, we need to whack off to porn. Like, I think for them it was like, we got to get away from this monarchy and be able to have political ideals and be able to have this marketplace of ideas. So, like, though I see your perspective on pornography being a form of expression, I don't think it rises to the same level and needs of protection as political discourse and speech.
Because I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't believe him, but he doesn't like it. That's why it shouldn't.
Speech, right? Like for me, for example, like I'm real big on we need to protect free speech. I'm like as close as you could be to a free speech maximalist or absolutist.
No, you're not, because you don't want porn, because in your own brain, porn doesn't fall under free speech, even though it literally does.
But I'm not a free image absolutist, right? If that makes sense. So I don't think, at least for majority of porn, it's not artistic or political in any way. It's strictly erotic, for financial gain, typically for people to.
Bro, your whole persona is political gain. Shut the fuck up. And look at this face right here. Is this not a perfect, emblematic symbol of who Myron is? His soul is coming out of him. Like, his eyes are turning black, his hair is turning gray, his lips are turning white. All these shades of evil is just, he's wearing all black now. Myron is a super villain on YouTube. Like, I kid you not. And look at him right now. Look at this. Myron's soul has been left out of his body. And now it's just a husk of what used to be a person. That's just like a clout. This is like, Myron's the picture of a clout demon, like literally. If y'all go back and listen to Myron's voice and look at what he looked like 3 years ago, it's a stark difference. Like every color, like I'm serious. Like, Jennifer, every shade of evil is in this man right now. God, it's crazy. Like,
get horny or whatever.
Well, for sure, I would actually agree with that part. But where I would say that it is political, is the right to exist. So it typically is the canary in the coal mine. It's like the first thing to go because no one wants to defend it. Even I'm here. I'm like, I don't want to say I'm pro porn, right? Like it's not something that people really champion or get behind for a whole host of reasons.
Oh, so you're saying its existence is political in nature, not the actual content being political.
Both can be true, but more its existence.
I don't know about you, but I've never seen a girl sucking D and talking about Democrats and Republicans, man.
There's actually some.
Wait. You literally talk to Jasmine Jafar. She knows politics. And even if she's not doing it at the same time, okay, I guess the point it would have to be at the same time, to be fair. But so the fuck what? You don't always talk about politics.
Bro,
they're actually.
Come on. Rule 34, bro. If it exists, there's porn of it.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Yeah, I promise. There
really?
are. Yes.
That's where we are?
Don't you know the rules of the internet?
There's cancer ads. I actually shot a cancer ad back in the day.
What the hell?
Yeah, so she's not she's taking it as not the same time, because just because you're doing one don't mean you can't do the other.
Yeah, but like, what happened to good old classic stuff like the pizza guy shows up?
Man, like, let's be honest here, though. Like, are people really logging into Pornhub to, like, figure out who they're going to vote for? Like, let's see if the Democrats have a better video. Oh, I'm going to vote for whoever puts out the best porn. Like,
wait.
Yes,
I gotta
Jennifer,
be honest.
exactly.
Everybody was sharing those pictures on X of, like, big,
you got a
busty
point.
Trump.
How do you know what they talking about? How do you know?
Supporting women.
Yeah.
And they were all super hot.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris, she didn't have none of that.
Wait, what?
To be honest.
Come on.
Everybody was sharing those pictures on X of like big busty Trump supporting women.
Yeah.
And they were all super hot.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris, she didn't have none of that.
Bro, she had Meg the Stallion supporting her. Meg probably shitted on every one of them big busty women you're talking about. Fuck you, nigga. I don't give no fuck. Meg the Stallion was supporting Kamala. I put my money down. She was finer than every other girl you probably thought you saw with supporting Trump. I don't give a fuck. And Cardi and Beyonce. They trumping everybody you talking about. I don't give a fuck.
Look, I guess that's a strange niche that I might not be familiar with, but I think for us to sit here and say, like, we need to protect porn that, is political in nature, well then...
Kelly, goddammit. Shit, I can't forget about Kelly. Fuck Beyonce. Kelly, Beyonce, Kerry Washington. I mean, Kerry Washington ain't a sex symbol, but she fine. So all that shit, like, stop, bro.
Companies are going to start wearing MAGA hats when they smash and stuff. Like,
Well, no.
Dude.
I'm saying all of them, not this niche porn.
The rules of the internet. Are you familiar? This goes back to the ancient lore, the deep magic, as it was written. Rule 34 states, if it exists, there is porn of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, now I'm realizing that. But no, I mean, I see your perspective where you're saying, like, porn in itself is a political thing because it's a hot rod, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should we ban it? Should we not? but I think like to say, I don't think it deserves the same level of protection as like us having political discourse where we're discussing ideas, right?
Well, there is like different categories of protection, right? In political speech and political the ability to criticize your government is like the number one thing.
Paramount. That's the reason this country was founded.
Right, and everything kind of trickles down from there. But I'm saying it does need to be included because if you look at any like oppressive government, it always starts with obscenity or anyone that's like kind of criticizing the prominent religion.
You're worried about like the slippery slope where they take that away and you give them an inch, they take a mile. You know, I could see your stance for that, but I don't think porn would be that impetus to like for that to happen, right? I think I'd be more concerned when they start like silencing people for being critical of, you know, other topics that might be controversial.
But you know the famous poem, you know, first they came for the trade unionists, then they came for the porn stars.
Nova, that's I could see that, but I agree, but I think that applies to things beyond porn. You know, like I think that there's so many things that if the price is right, I will consent to. You know what I'm saying? If the price is right, I will consent to it. So I don't know how far it could be considered abuse if you agree to get paid for it and you're not being harmed. And then again, harm is subjective in that sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't. Again, everybody has a price on a lot of things. Not anything, but like you might get somebody a right price to get peed on if the price is right. And I don't know if that's abuse, because to me abuse is no exchange of anything. It seems like I would think that abuse is one-sided. Abuse has to be one-sided. That's why it's abuse, right? But if I'm willingly as a consenting adult deciding to exchange my time or whatever or my body for money, and I agree to it, and the price you give me, then is that abuse? You know, I don't know. Like, there's some things you could give me a price to where I might not do it any other time, and there's some things I would never do depending on the price that you give me. So I don't know if they still can say no. I think, and if it's, I don't think, it's just hard for me to say that's abuse, you know?
And the whores as it goes.
It always starts with the porn. They're like, we're gonna censor this because it's obscene, and then most people are like, absolutely, like book bannings, we should do that, and it ends up. I think it was in Russia specifically where it ended up was you couldn't have any books that were in Hebrew, like that became illegal.
But so I don't accept this argument. This slippery slope argument. People make it on
you ain't have to bring up him. So he didn't invent that. He didn't invent it.
All right.
So the arguments we get right now all the time from particularly the anti-establishment. I don't want to necessarily say the right. The right is basically the anti-establishment. It wasn't always this way. The argument's always we can't use this power because then they will use this power. And it's like, bro, let me just tell you right now, evil people are doing horrifying evil things. We want to stop. The idea that we would let them continue doing horrifying evil things because maybe more evil will happen later is an afterthought. How about this?
That doesn't even make sense in this context, because I forgot who it was, but it was somebody that was asking about the whole presidential trying to give Trump that third term or whatever, and they was like, yeah, we want to do this, and then it was like, okay, well, wouldn't that be afforded to like Obama? And they're like, no, he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, shut the fuck up.
We think is good and what we think is bad. So we say, this thing is bad and should have restrictions on it. And
Lucas, like, there's some things you literally can't. Yeah, like, and that's different. Like, what you said? You said being murdered that was the only thing. Yeah, like, you can't consent to being murdered. You can't consent to being a slave because, by definition, it's one-sided. Like, slavery is one-sided. You're not a slave if you're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you're not getting paid, then you're a slave, which you can't sign off to. If you're murdered, you're not even here anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that person still gets to live. There's no exchange in value there. So, you know.
Later they come back and say, oh, yeah, well, now we're going to do even worse.
Like you said, Jennifer, like, that's why I said, like, none of us will work our jobs unless they paid us. I don't care how much you love it or hate it. A lot of shit, well, no, some people do things they love without getting paid. Like, I was doing this shit for a long time. So, but I was trying to get paid. But Yes, 99% of people don't want to work unless they get paid.
First thing we say, no. Right? So so the way I describe it is the slippery slope moves in every single direction. The argument that we can't regulate or restrict porn because, heavens, they might come back.
Wait, who said you can't regulate it? You fucking dumbass straw man and bitch. This Myron said get rid of. I don't think she's even argued against regulating it.
That we can't regulate or restrict porn.
This video less than a minute.
Heavens,
a minute
they
away
might come
from
back
being
and
done.
censor
Then we can
something
start.
else. It's like, okay, well, now they're giving kids porn, right? Which slippery slope do you want to take? And I got to be honest, how about we just try and fight to defend the area where we are? That means if a kid wants to go to an adult bookstore, you're not going to let him in. Check for an ID. You want to have a website where it's going to have this stuff? Okay, fine. Got to have an ID. Got to prove your age. X is a public platform. People can access. Restrictions. So in order to, if there's an account,
it's regulated, but some people think there should be more regulation.
Flag does not safe for work. It's got porn or other adult content or extreme violence. It is blocked off unless you can verify your age and you get a verification check with your ID and all that stuff. How about we do that? Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon.
Trying. But you can go to work and get sexually harassed by your employer or coworker, but still endure it because bills, so money in the mix can lead you loud. Well, no. Nicole, you didn't, when you go to work, you didn't sign up to be harassed you didn't sign up to be harassed by your employer or coworkers. You signed up to do the job. So if you're doing a scene as an adult filmmaker and you go there expecting to do X in this scene and then Y happens that you never agreed to, that is abuse, and that's the problem. You don't sign on to whatever comes your way when you're in the setting of whatever you signed up for. When extra things come into play, like if I have a job to flip burgers and then you tell me to like paint the walls of McDonald's, no, no, that's not what my job entailed. You're abusing my ability to work. You're abusing what I signed up for. So I don't think that's what you're signing up for. You're just signing up for the other, you're signing up for the job you signed up for, Yeah, my bad, bro.
Nah, you're good. You're good, man. No, that's what I was thinking is the abuse part. Is that like there are certain like porn sites like kink.com, like people sign up for that. They have agreements, safe words, and if something goes too far, they use their safe word, it stops. And if it doesn't, then it's abuse at that point.
Right, which makes sense.
So
that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's how it works. Like, I signed up to do this. Like, now if you start trying to do other stuff, then now you're abusing me or taking advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? So, absolutely. Yeah, Lucas, you're in there, but you'll never say nothing. You'd have missed a lot, man. Oh, snap. So, have you seen these Pxie tweets?
Yeah, so I watched your stream, and then Tom went over the Destiny Manifesto, but before he did, he was on Twitter, and Pxie had said something about like Destiny's lying about, well, I didn't get consent, and she posted like three screenshots, and nowhere in those screenshots was there any explicit like consent. So from that point, people were like, "Tom, you're sweeping. Tom, you're trying to like slander Pxie," and it's like, no, like she made an original claim that she never sent any videos to Destiny.
Yeah.
And then it turns out you did send them, and now she's saying, "Well, I got permission," and the tweet that she's using or the screenshot, it's like it clearly says like, hey, I can get a video of me giving a video or a photo of me giving this guy like a blowjob or something. And Destiny's like, okay, great. But like nowhere in that tweet or that screenshot does it like say, let me ask him if I can share this photo or video. So like what she's trying to do is like I had implied consent. But then that works against her because then Destiny can be like, well, I had implied consent also to share this with Rose, and then the hacker did whatever he did. So it's kind of like you kind of fucked yourself in this instance. So I'm kind of like, this is looking a lot different than it was originally presented.
So I think when she said that she had, are you talking about the message on January 3rd where I have never ever sent videos of other people to Steven ever?
Yeah.
I don't know if Tom was correct in that assessment, but he was like, he said that this was when she was still trying to keep up with hiding her identity from the videos, which is okay for her to lie about. But at the same time, this would be her lying about herself versus lying about because she can't act like she had a sexual relationship. So yes. So if she was still trying to keep it a secret that she had relations with Destiny, then this lie makes sense. You get what I'm saying?
I disagree.
Really? But if she was still trying to not get her identity out there.
Because she doesn't have to say that. If she's already denying that it was her, she just can say that's not me.
No. Not that it wasn't her. She said she never sent videos of other people to Steven ever. And I think that would be to further corroborate her denying ever being in a sexual relationship with him in the first place.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fine, but you lied, even if it was to like to continue the storyline of like I've never did that. You lied. So
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
but
at that point,
wouldn't you expect her to lie if the goal was to minimize damage and to not let people know that she was involved with Destiny or in the tapes? Right? So if she's getting personally asked like, is this you, Pxie? She has to lie because nobody's supposed to know about this, right?
yeah, but then you fucked yourself because you did do it. And if you were going to go the court route, which she is, this is all evidence to the contrary.
No, I agree.
So,
no.
You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Okay, so if behind the scenes they're trying to do damage control, right? She like the tapes is out. They're trying to minimize damage. Destiny, she said, don't tell nobody it's me. He's like, okay. She's like, I won't say anything. He's like, okay. The agreement is, since I'm not easily identifiable, we can't just lend credence to anybody accusing me. And since they can't obviously say it's me, we're gonna deny it. I don't think that's
you just deny
bad.
it. Then you just deny it, but you don't add more to it because now you open yourself up to this litigation of, did you lie?
Well, I think the tape matters.
Yeah, I mean the tape matters, but if you're just gonna deny that it wasn't you, then don't add anything to it, because now you're giving a affirmative denial that you've never done something else, but
I get what
you're
saying.
also saying I wasn't.
I get what you're
I
saying.
never had sex with him or did any videos with
him. You're saying you added a lie that wasn't necessary to facilitate the lie that was necessary.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because so you wouldn't have this wouldn't be your argument. You wouldn't say this if she was like, I didn't have sex with Destiny. Like if that was the lie she was saying, would you be like, why did you lie? Or is that lie understandable?
Because that lie is understandable because you're denying the sex state.
Yeah.
Like I can understand you wanting to be like, this wasn't me, So therefore, you have to say, "I never had sex with Destiny."
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no, you don't actually have to say that. But it helps the lie out more by denying a relationship period, so that it seems like you guys' relationship was purely platonic.
Okay, I get
So
what you're saying.
I can understand that lie, but to say like I never sent any videos to Destiny, it's like you don't have to say that. That you can completely just leave alone, leave that there, because now you got caught in another lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you're making yourself not a reliable.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. Now that I think about it, because like you said, all you did was fuck yourself. Because this lie, even if you got consent, it's like, why did you say that? Even if you sent the videos with consent, why did you say you've never sent videos of other people? If you did, even if you had consent.
Exactly. Like at that point, because if this got found out later on, she can always be like, "Well, yeah, I did, but I had consent."
Yeah.
And then no one can say anything because she never did the first lie.
Right.
So now it's a nothing burger. Like, okay, like you're not on the same level as Destiny on this, but because you lied about it, you haven't shown any proof of the consent was given. Now it throws everything else into doubt, because now we can just pick apart about this, that you also continually lied in this endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make her look like a more credible victim, even though technically everybody's a victim in this.
Yeah, everybody's a victim.
As much as people want to be like, Destiny's a piece of shit or whatever, he was the first victim of this,
and the target.
No one gave a shit. Yeah, no one gave a shit that he was being blackmailed with this shit.
And that is quite strange. And that's what, like, from the jump, me and you both said, I'm like, this seems like a bunch of virtue signaling, pitchfork carrying shit, because nobody, when it was just about Destiny and Lauren Southern and the dick sucking and shit, it was all jokes and memes. Like, nobody gave a fuck that because he still wasn't talking about it, because it was a lot of sensitive stuff within the material. So he couldn't talk about it even when he got leaked, and it wasn't even any conversation about Pxie. And it's like, it was all jokes. Everybody was joking because nobody gave a fuck. And now all of a sudden Pxie is like, this happened to me. It's like, oh, how dare Destiny? It's like, bro, Destiny didn't leak the shit. Like, y'all don't give a fuck about the person that did it?
Nobody cared. The amount of look at this cuck gay dick sucker.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Bro, like you realize like his privacy was violated by this, and you guys are just saying he's a dick sucker. It's like, and fuck, I sad to say, like, if this was reversed, no one would. No, if this was a woman, this was originally Pxie in this position, people would be losing their shit and wanting to.
You mean like if Destiny was a woman? You saying like if Destiny was a woman?
Yeah, if Destiny was the woman in this situation, and he had his video of him sucking dick or her sucking dick or whatever, like, people wouldn't have this reaction. A lot of people wouldn't have it.
I agree. I don't think anybody would be rallying behind Destiny and I'm not saying Pixies shouldn't be rallied around, but if it was Destiny, it wouldn't be this kind of support. It'll probably still laugh at him. Like if he trusted his news with somebody and it got leaked, they would just laugh at him sucking dick. Like I really do think. Yeah. You're right. That's something I never even thought about. I hope Tom streams or something. I'm gonna ask him that. That's a very good assessment, because if he got leaked for sending something to somebody he trusted and somebody else leaked it, I don't see a world where people are defending Destiny to the ends, besides his friends, of course. But like all these people that hate him, like they wouldn't care. They would laugh at him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did. Look at like Nick DeOrio and Jay Stalk, their thing was like, oh well, it's bad, but I mean, who cares? It is
like
what it is.
Yeah, like Ryan, like they said, like if Pxie did send the stuff unconsensually, if you're really on this moral high ground, you have to not care anymore if Pxie sent it without asking. She says she did though. I don't know how she could prove it. Maybe she has to get the ex to agree that she did it. Maybe, but that's unless it's in writing or he said it, that's the only way we'll know. She said he did though.
But that's the issue. Like I honestly don't. Personally, I don't think she did get consent from him because that would have been the easiest thing to just dump out there right away and be like, Destiny's lying. I got consent. This is the guy. This is our messages. Boom. And not sharing the messages between her and Destiny, because that doesn't prove anything. And a lot of people are like, well, it's inferred. It's like, well, no. If you're talking about like explicit versus implicit, you need explicit consent in this matter to actually confirm it.
And it does. I think if we're being fair, if Destiny feels like she sent me pictures of her with somebody, I could send pictures of us with somebody. That doesn't mean it's okay, but I get the mind state. You know what I'm saying? If we're like sending pictures of sexual activities with us, like, I don't think this is a big deal. I get the mindset, even though it's still not excusable. It's not like, oh, fuck it, it's okay. But these people that are having this moral stance about sending stuff without consent, Pxie is just as culpable as Destiny, but her shit ain't get leaked. But that doesn't change the fact that it shouldn't. If that's your stance, you can't care about Pxie's claims. You can't, whether it got leaked or not. You cannot be like, oh no, Pxie's still a victim. Yes, but you no longer should have a stance on the position. She can still be a victim, but you don't have any opinion on this anymore. If your issue is sending content without permission, because she did it. I don't give a fuck about somebody complaining about getting stolen from while they steal from people. I don't care no more.
Exactly. Like I've like, and then there's the so going off of Tom's thing again. Him and I were discussing, me in the chat, him on stream, that I guess Aaron Straderade had told President Sunday that Pxie lied about the suicide ideation claim, which then, knowing that information now, gives me a little bit more deference towards Sunday, even though he's still a bitch.
Really? Oh, I get why you say. I get why you say that. I get why.
Because his whole thing was like, she's trying to extort him. If he was told that before he made his video and then made his video and then with that claim, that's a lot more plausible now, because using that you're suicidal, it's a weapon to it's a weapon.
Because Destiny. Go ahead.
Like most people, most sane, rational people, if you hear someone's suicidal, you're not going to try to push buttons. You're going to try to be more amenable, try to help them along, get them care, which it seems like Destiny was trying to do.
Oh shit. Mantis just dropped something from DGG today. The latest from DGG. Okay. All right, let me see.
On Discord?
Yeah, she just dropped it in Discord. I'm finna see what it says.
Tell her to fucking come in.
You said what?
Tell her to come in.
Tell her to come in. Yeah, Mantis, if you able, we in the chat. We in the general chat if you wanted to come up.
Because I guess she got bombed on by Kelly Jean.
She talked to her?
No, I guess Kelly Jean went on Queeman's stream was talking shit while Tom was streaming. I haven't watched it yet, but I mean, Kelly Jean, the whole Kelly Jean laugh thing is another thing where I'm like, you dirty motherfuckers, you guys were propagating fucking Destiny's fucking dick picture and shit, but now you guys want to act high and mighty about that.
That was crazy when I saw
wild.
That was crazy.
That is fucking crazy.
Okay. All right, so this was today. Destiny. The homophobia is a little funny, I guess, but at some point, holy fuck. Izul, I don't know. Oh, I guess that's the person. Izul, people are literally using LSF and YouTubers now to spread revenge porn of me. It's actually fucking insane. If I ever see Queeman or whoever else in real life, I guess he's really upset with Queeman. The amount of virtue signaling over this shit is actually insane. That's really what my biggest contention has been with these people. It's like this virtue signal shit is just fucking weird. She says she gonna jump on in a second.
Okay.
That's what's so strange. Like, it's just for everybody to pretend to have real friends and like not be like these online people. They don't act like it. Okay, so how the fuck am I supposed to ever prove any kind of recording arrangement from people on Grindr who aren't even making accusations against me? Lol. Oh, what does that mean? He's saying,
well, because there's the claim that he was recording. He's recording audio from like a Grindr hookup.
Okay, and what I guess you don't want to put. Well, you could block off names and shit, right, to not expose those people, right?
I guess, but I mean, unless the person from Grindr who he was doing whatever with comes forward, it's a non-factor to me because it's just a claim. Unless someone from that person comes up and says, yes, Destiny did X, Y, Z, then it's just, okay, you're just adding another quote-unquote victim that hasn't come forward or said anything. So I don't know how true it is. Unless Destiny said it.
Right.
But then at that point, it's still like, if the person was okay with it, then I don't give a fuck.
True. Okay, so she said read from bottom to top. So this was the wrong order. I read it. Let me make sure. Okay. So really the start of this was Pxie got a group of people together to send every single thing I've basically ever sent to any one of them to each other, and now they are selectively leaking them to the people. Nice. How the fuck am I supposed to ever prove any kind of recording arrangement for people on Grindr who aren't even making accusations against me? Lol. The amount of virtue signaling over this shit is actually fucking insane. If I ever see Queeman or whoever else in real life, people are literally using LSF and YouTubers to spread revenge porn of me to like, it's actually fucking insane. The homophobia is a little funny, I guess, but at some point, holy fuck. Then, but most streamers are just fucking horrible people. I wish I wouldn't have helped any of them now. Should have just perma-focused on my own shit. Hassan and Vash are 1,000% correct in that it's better to focus on Clout Network. Oh, God. Than to help any blood-sucking, disgusting leech fucks. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the people that Destiny, I don't know what he's done behind the scenes, but the people that Destiny's helped kind of just did tacit, like, rejections, like Pxie and them. They kind of like, I'm just going to back off for now. But the people that never like Destiny is the ones that's going hard, right? I think Turkey Tom did a little bit too much for them to be friends. I think Turkey Tom really went left with his take and like tried to condemn Kyla, and I think he kind of went far to be his actual friend. But like Josiah, I don't even know if Josiah said anything publicly, but like Pxie, Hutch, they didn't do too much. They was just like, I'm gonna just chill.
They basically said what Destiny did was wrong, so therefore I'm no longer be associated with them.
Right.
And then that was it.
Yeah, and Abba too. And to be fair, I think Abba seemed like he just didn't want a public relationship with him. Abba said, I don't want to be around that, but Abba never made it clear that he doesn't want to associate with Destiny by any means. It seemed like it's all public, unless I read that wrong.
I kind of figured Abba was going to burn the bridge, but personally, I didn't really like how he did it. I think my problem is with people who recognize a bad behavior within someone, and then when something bad happens, now they become the, well, this is bad. I don't want to associate with you now, blah blah blah. But you were okay before the bad thing happened. But you knew this person had this bad behavior.
I get that, but to be fair, he probably didn't know about this exactly. He just knew Destiny was hedonistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if you don't know the details, that's a little different, right?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'll concede that. I get that, but to me, it seems like a lot of people have known about Destiny's behavior, and they weren't okay with it, but they were okay with still being around him.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I don't want to say leeching, but they were in his orbit, and it benefited them. And then when this shit came down, they left, which is understandable. And I like how Pisco, Hutch, Josiah, how they did it, because they were just like flat out like, I can't be around this for my brand, basically.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. And they didn't turn around and then do 12 hours of streams about how Destiny. I can respect that. It's the people like the Nick Diorios, the Jay Stalk. Like,
and that's the
these
thing,
type of
because
people
if Destiny bounced, maybe go ahead.
Well, like these people who were around him, fuck with them, went on streams, and then turned around and just were like I understand J-Stop because he basically was a Destiny Orbiter leech. That's what most of his content was.
Yeah.
So, but like the way he's going about it is like psychotic. It's fucking retardedly psychotic.
Because he's a virtue signaling demon. Like anytime he gets a chance to white knight or virtue signal, he's all in. And so throw caution to the wind. It doesn't matter, because the thing is, when Destiny it bounces back, these people are gonna want to be around him again. J Stalk is gonna want to be around him. Turkey Tom is gonna want to be around him. I don't know what Willie Mack is gonna end up doing. Willie Mack criticized him, but I don't know. I don't even think he doesn't need Destiny, though. To be fair, he doesn't. But people like J Stalk, he needs Destiny's orbiters. He needs, and he might be SOL if Destiny bounce back from all this.
He is he's gonna be stuck with Cherry and Kelly Jean
and laugh
and laugh. That's gonna be his go-to route now on, and like 2 out of 3 of them are just pieces of shit. So I don't get how you can virtue signal, like, especially with Kelly Jean being as fucking unhinged, crazy, and just all around just a bad person for what I've seen of her. Like, I don't know her personal life. She can be completely nice, but like her online presence, she's a piece of shit.
No, yeah, she
so
really is.
I don't get why, like, after you already burnt the bridge, she tried to blackmail you. Destiny actually came to your defense in that scenario, and then you bring her back once Destiny and you fucking fall out and shit. Like, it's fucking retarded.
Yeah, and she's just fully unaware of her behavior. It's fucking crazy. So after he said Hassan and Vasha are correct, responding to some people, and then he said, oh, okay, I don't know what. I guess he's responding to other people's messages, but it's no context. No, now it's just going to be leaking basically every gay thing I've ever recorded for the next 6 months to reputation attack me, and then asking me to prove consent from Grindr hookups who aren't even making accusations against me. I get it. So people want him to prove that he consented to whatever he has recorded on Grindr, but the people that it would involve haven't accused him of anything. So it's like, who is he proving this to, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that I understand that. Like, if they came out and they were like, "We're going to join this lawsuit," or publicly say something,
Yeah, that doesn't make sense for him to. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just opening yourself up to more litigation. So it's easier just to be like, "You guys shut the fuck up." Unless someone or something comes out, then yeah, we'll go from there.
5 minutes. Okay. Lonerbox posted a video 4 hours ago responding to Destiny.
Oh God.
I'm curious because he addressed the Lonerbox in his manifesto.
Yeah.
Kind of shortly. Was that yesterday or was it the day before part? I think he addressed Lonerbox 2 days ago.
I think it was a couple of days ago, but
yeah.
But he didn't like take a dig at him.
Yeah, he didn't. Well, no, he kind of did when he was like, well, that's what they tell people that they're not dating anymore about him and Pxie.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant.
Well, supposedly Lonerbox and Pxie are dating, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why Lonerbox was just kind of like, yeah, I'm done with Destiny. Like, but if I remember correctly, in his response, he didn't really give like a affirmative, like, I'll never work with Destiny again. It was kind of like at this moment right now, I can no longer be associated with Destiny.
Yeah. And it makes all of the sense. And I think even the thing is, Destiny understands it. Even people was trying to twist what he said about like people saying crazy stuff. They tried to make it seem like every single person around should have spoke to him first. All he said was people that have jumped out the window and said crazy shit didn't talk to me.
Yeah.
Those were the people he was talking about. People like Diorio, Ryan Beard, probably Queeman. I haven't watched a second of Queeman. I just know his name. It probably him. I just know he's one of those. He's like a J-Stalk, So those are the people.
Chud Logic is.
Yeah, I know who Chud Logic is. I didn't see. I don't watch him though.
He's basically Chud Logic's autistic
understudy.
Yeah, he's his little apprentice.
Ain't he from the UK too? Queeman?
Yeah. Yep.
I thought so. Yeah, I've probably seen like a segment of him in something, but I never went to. I like him and Chud Logic and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't want to sound like I don't like people with accents, but like I don't know if I can sit and watch them for any extended period of time. I just can't. I don't want to make it.
I can't. I honestly I don't like too many of like the commentary community. Like if it's a short video, I can watch it. But like a stream of them just reacting to some shit and just yelling and giving bad takes about shit is just like no. I got better shit to do in my life.
Yeah, especially when you and it's like it's fine when you don't like somebody. Like when Destiny watches Hassan and doesn't like him, he's still honest when he should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when we know he can't stand Hassan, but when he's honest, he should be. He's like, well, yeah, I know Hassan understands this, so you better be right on this or whatever. Like I know you're gonna come out on top of this part of the conversation. But like when I was watching Diorio, I was just like, bro, you're like you have the worst interpretation of every single thing. Even when he tweets. Like, when people be trying to correct him on something he'll say about Destiny, it's just like, no, Destiny's wrong all the time, no matter what. It's like, bro, that shit is lame. And then, like, people keep trying to, like, fucking Philly crying about Tom. Tom is just, like, one of the most objective commentary people I've seen, and that's why we like him. And it's just like, why are you crying about him not, like, giving the pitchforks to Destiny? That's not even the type of content creator he is.
The Philly so I didn't finish the Philly conversation. I just couldn't. I got about 50 minutes into it, and then I realized this is typical Philly action. So Philly for years has done this thing where he acts like he doesn't know something, and then throughout the conversation, you'll realize he knows everything as much as the person he's talking to. And then when he gets called out on it, he's like, what does that matter for the conversation? Or he'll be like, well, yeah, I know some stuff. And it's like, no, you know all of it. And then he does this thing where he will make a claim, and then he will backtrack on the claim, and then he will then go and say like, oh well, what does that matter? And then it's just rinse repeat over and over, and that's what he did with Tom. And Tom was trying to explain to him like Philly had this dumbass analogy about rape, about if I get raped by you and then I rape you, is that now good? And Tom's like, no, it's still bad. Like, rape is still bad. And Philly's like, well, then it's the same thing. And Tom's like, no, what's going on right now is that destiny, that it's implied, the implied consent works both ways, but you can't consent to fucking rape. Like, and Philly just couldn't understand that. It was fucking mind blowing as I'm listening to it.
You are. She laughing because she know what you talking about.
Yeah, like Philly's fucking retarded.
That was a funny conversation, dude. I don't know why he couldn't understand the point of it, but I don't know. It is a tough one because most people in this situation think that unless you got explicit consent, like this is a shitty thing to do. And they're right. Like you should ask. Obviously you should just get explicit consent, but it's not like implicit consent doesn't exist. It's not like you could think, oh, well, she sent me videos. I sent her videos. Like we were all sending videos. So like, I thought it would be cool if I sent, like she thought it was cool that I sent a video to Melina. So she knows it's going to get out there. Right. Like, I don't know. I can understand that, but it's not like Tom was saying, therefore it's okay what happened. Like, no, fucking hell, dude. He's saying it's all shit. Like, it's all bad. It's just some less bad than others.
And that's what'd be weird to me. It seems like Tom is very clear about what his stance is and what he's getting at. And then he still gets these people in chat like, yeah, you're just sweeping for destiny.
So
you don't want to call him out.
Rape is good.
You said what?
They say like, oh, so you're saying rape is good. Like,
yeah, like that type of I'm like, at what point did these words ever come? Like, I'm not gonna lie, Mantis. I'd be like, does Tom like recruit people to troll him in his chat? Because it just seems like he's obvious about what the fuck he's saying. And yet people still come saying shit that was never said or implied in any sense of the word.
I think with Tom, it is like he's not, because he tries to be so fair and logically consistent with everything, and people are like emotional. Essentially, I think it is just that people are emotional. Like, I've done it to Tom. He pisses me off too. Like he says things and I'm like, what the fuck? What do you say? Like, and it's just because I'm emotional or they're emotional and they genuinely hate what's happened and they've picked a side. So unless he kind of says the thing that they want him to say, like yesterday, he's getting right now. I got in DGG, Destiny linked a fucking screenshot of Kiwi Farms, and they're threatening to dox Tom now because of the stuff he's been saying. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh my fucking
God. Didn't
God.
Tom already get doxxed?
I don't know, dude.
Get doxxed already.
I don't know. Where do I put it? Should I?
If you want to just send it to me, you can. Or if you
yeah.
Well, it doesn't have the doxing, of course. They're just threatening him, right?
It doesn't have the dox in it.
Right.
But they're threatening it. They're like, this guy, rah, rah, rah. Yeah.
You know what's so interesting? Like, when you mention, like, this Kiwi Farm stuff, I don't want, again, I know this is probably one of those things that, like, Tom deals with, and I want to say it sounds bad, but I'm not trying to be, I don't want to sound like I'm not empathetic. But when Pxie thinks that this situation is so terrible, which it is, I don't know how many people don't understand how small the demographic is of people that are on shit like Kiwi Farms. Like, I don't, I think I'm more invested in this like YouTube content shit than like 80% of the people that watch like Destiny or Tom. I'm probably more invested than, I'm probably at the top 10% of people that's invested. And
yeah,
I don't go on Kiwi Farms at all. Like, that's not a thing that interests me. I don't even use Reddit. I don't even go to Reddit for shit.
neither.
So it's like,
I only go to Reddit to like, for like pretty much only Destiny's Reddit, because there's just good, they link funny things sometimes. But
okay.
I don't know how to use Reddit. I don't use it. I don't comment. I don't like, I don't do anything with it. And Kiwi Farms is banned in New Zealand. We cannot access it here.
Even worse. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, it's a site that you can't access in some countries. It seems like a very niche website. And like you said on Reddit, even you who's invested just reads. When I do use Reddit, I just read. I'll never probably post anything on Reddit in my life. I don't even understand the platform of Kiwi Farms to any extent. And when it's like, yes, it's quote unquote public, it's like, to who? You know, like, I don't know. This demographic on Kiwi Farms is so small. And like, I think that all of Pxie's behavior is understandable, but it's not rational. Like, I fully get every move she's made as far as being like traumatized by this situation, because it's very unsettling. I can imagine, especially at her age. It's a lot.
There's a problem with that because I understand what you're saying, but then she should also be going after Silo and Kiwi Farm.
That too. I don't know if she has any concern about the guy that leaked it.
From what I've gathered in the beginning, Destiny was going after Kiwi Farm and Silo. Yeah. And he was trying to help get all that what's propagated off the internet or whatnot. And then she's civil suing him, but not Kiwi Farm or anyone else. Yeah.
I think
what Destiny did was fucked up. What was that?
I think Destiny will still, or at least that was that he said the other day that that's what he's been doing for the last 3 or 4 months, is trying to figure out, like, working with people to like sue Kiwi Farms or go after Kiwi Farms. The solo guy obviously did revenge porn, but it's just he's probably not got any money or anything. I don't know how you would even punish the guy if he's broke or whatever. But Kiwi Farms, this is such a good opportunity to go after Kiwi Farms, and he said that it's been damaged now because of this. Like
Kiwi Farms been damaged?
No, his case against them has been damaged.
Shit.
Because they're putting all the blame on Destiny. So therefore,
absolutely
doesn't hold any responsibility, which is absolutely nuts to me. That if you're gonna sue Destiny, let's sue everybody.
And you know what though? I think
the Silo guy doesn't have money.
I think
you'll still have to pay it some way somehow.
That sheds light as to what people's real motivations are, because like he said, they're still hosting the content. They will continue to host it. Apparently Kiwi Farms is big for doxing and shit like that. So if it's like all this rage for content being distributed publicly, yet no smoke for Kiwi Farms, the people that are relishing in Destiny's demise don't give a fuck about content being publicly shared that's not supposed to. They don't care.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, the problem is people think that if they talk about Kiwi Farms and how they've done something fucked up as well, then like the heat comes off Destiny and he won't be, they think it takes away from like persecuting Destiny. And it's like, I don't understand. You can do all of the above. Like, you can do all of the above. It doesn't do that. Like, right now, all of this like attack that they've got going on, they're acting like if we don't do this, Destiny's gonna win the narrative. Like, he's lost. he's already
Destiny's
lost.
Fucked.
He's got no one. He ain't got anybody. Like, what?
And the thing is, all of what's happened was still is understandable for what happened to him. And Pxie does deserve some level of restitution. But that man has suffered. Like, he's gone through a lot. He's lost a lot.
She don't deserve.
Yeah, he's lost it all, really.
That 15 million shit, I don't even understand how that was a thing. That was insane to me. I couldn't believe that.
Like, I
part
could
of me thinks it's
understand if
just where you start negotiations. Like, put out a huge number because you know that they're not obviously going to get anywhere close to that. But like, if you start at 15 mil and negotiate down, but it's still like a wild number, dude.
How far down do you go from 15 million though? 8 million?
1 to 150K apparently.
I feel like
Like,
starting it.
that's
I feel like you could have,
insane.
if that's the strategy. Starting at like 10 is egregious to me. But start there. Like, god damn, I don't even know
Yeah.
if Destiny ever made $15 million in like 5 years. Like, come on, bro.
I don't know. I think he is really wealthy. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm sure the
if he
man has money, but it's like, come on, bro. 15.
Yeah, it's tough. At the end of it all, like he's lost like the optics game. He's lost all of that.
Yeah.
Like now it is just a matter of like going to court, but whether or not his lawyers can get it dismissed, that'll be the next move. Is like they'll try and get the case dismissed on like no standing or no grounds or something or whatever. And he seems to be really confident that his lawyers will manage to do that. But then if that doesn't work out, then yeah, it has to go through a full discovery and go to court and fuck. It's like hectic.
I think he'll get settled.
It should, and I think it will too. But I feel like
think it'll get settled.
even for Pxie's sake, like she needs to settle this out of court because the court ain't gonna go in her favor. It's just not.
Yeah, I don't know if it will either. It doesn't seem like it. Like I don't think you can prove that what he did was meant like maliciously or with any kind of harmful intent. You might be able to like convince a jury that he did it recklessly or like I don't know. The thing that worries me about it is if they manage to get like a bunch of women to come forward, or like it's not just Pxie, what happened to Pxie, but it's like they can frame him in this way by grabbing all these women and doing, who knows? Like that's the problem with like law, is it doesn't really matter what the evidence is. It's like the case that you can make, you know. It's how you can build your case and how you can paint it and how you can convince a jury. So I don't know.
But as far as we know, there's not a lot of proof of, I mean, like I said, as far as we know, there's not a lot of proof of other women. Like, I'm sorry, I don't believe Cherry. Melina seems like she doesn't want anything to do with any of this, even if it's true. And if I misunderstood, Aaron probably doesn't even care. Wasn't she involved in this leak too? I
thought so too. Where is she?
Aaron
like,
don't probably care. I swear to
Yeah.
God, I'm like, didn't, but she probably just don't care. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I don't know about the Stacia thing or whatever, but
neither. Yeah,
I just think that she I don't know. I can't tell her what to do, of course, but I just feel like this just would have went. She wanted him to suffer. I think he suffered. They need to settle. Like just take an X amount.
it'll be whether Destiny will, because like it doesn't sound like he wants to settle now because he's lost everything. Like the thing that matters most to him is his public optics. Like all of that is more important than money probably to him. So like it's not, when it comes to settling, it won't just be like, hey, give me this much. It'll be like, hey, give me this much, and you're not allowed to do this, and you're not allowed to do that, and you have to blah blah blah. It'll be like with other conditions. And so I said in DGG chat today, I said, bro, just fucking pay her and move on, and then you can talk as much shit as you want. But like, it's not really, he might not be allowed to even settle, pay her, and like then talk shit. Who knows? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah. So do you?
But he doesn't seem to want to give her anything now.
I can imagine.
I wouldn't.
I can imagine just because of the
nothing
route,
back.
just because of the route she went. I can imagine that he doesn't want to. But I think the human in him probably would still be okay with some form of restitution. But it's hard though when as much damage has been done. It's like, fuck you, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like pay for.
I think
Destiny's a petty motherfucker. He's not going to want to give her shit. not after this.
Yeah.
Not from the start of him trying to like help her out, even offered money in the first place. Go after Kiwi Farms and this solo guy, like, and then you turn around and then put all the blame on him and give no accountability to anyone else. Like, no, like for me personally, I'd be like, oh, fuck you, you're not getting a dime. You're gonna have to get this shit in blood. Like,
yes.
we're going.
No, wait, honestly,
that
his statement kind of summed up why he's like totally fucking over it and not going to pay any money. Because not only is it Pxie saying some like wild things in her Substack, which I think they were wild. I think she did say wild things. But also, yeah, just the fact that like Lauren is behind the scenes and all these people are doing things behind the scenes and no one's talking to them. And it does, you've got an entire Discord server, JStalk server, like colluding together to find as much dirt and make it as like publicly like embarrassing and humiliating. And they are spreading around revenge porn behind the scenes. Like when all this shit is happening to you, like the last thing you're going to want to do is give anything to Pxie to like reward this behavior. It's sad because I think she has been fucked over, and like if they had managed to stay behind the scenes and just talk one-on-one, I bet they would have come to some agreement where he would have probably given her some money. He would have like apologized or something for the part that he's willing to admit like wrongdoing in. And yeah, but instead it turns into this big public circus where like the claims have gotten so far above and beyond that I don't really blame Destiny for being like, no, like if I pay her, I'm now admitting to all of these claims, aren't I?
And that's what kind of got me too with Pxie today. I was just like, she is a victim, but she's really pushing it now with this like, I didn't want to have to litigate my sexual life online, and it's like, well, come on.
Of course
you can't say that at this point. Like, that argument is out of the window, Pxie. You filed a lawsuit. It's public. You see everybody is on X talking about it, and he defends himself. You can't like that. That's just not viable at this point of what's going on. To say that you don't want to have to talk about your sexual history, like that's all been exposed, and he has to defend himself. Like, that's just not reasonable for you to feel that way.
I mean, yeah, this is just the way the game works. Like she made the claim that she was 19 and sexually inexperienced and innocent, and so if he's going to push back on that, like because that is sadly, that is just a part of like the picture she's painting of herself in the situation. That if you are fighting a legal battle, you want to destroy that. Mm-hmm. Like your lawyer, like defense lawyers will want to destroy that. They're going to want to paint you as not that kind of a person. This is just the game. This is law. This is how it works.
That's why
you kind of
That's why I just wish she just settled, because it's like y'all were working on that behind the scenes. Of course, like maybe you and Destiny couldn't talk about it with one another to where it will work out. But it's like for you to have been, you know what I'm saying, wanting to unalive, and you didn't want your parents to find out, and fuck Sunday, because a lot of this is on him. It was still a way to not have it be this. I think there was, even after Sunday's video, there was room for not even for it to get to this point now. If you're worried about people knowing, because by any metric, more people are going to look for this stuff after this. Like, people are going to actively look for it now. People that didn't even know about it, people that never saw it, they're like, this must be, they're going to go after looking for it now. And more people are going to have their hands on it and eyes on it. And it's like, this just was the most detrimental way to go about it for you to have been considering not being here anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's such a mess now. But I think it's going to get a lot messier. I think it's going to get a lot, because it won't be Pxie necessarily. Well, I don't know. She might be behind the scenes. I have no idea. But just the fact that this is just on the online world now, and now that the lawsuit's been filed and he's made a statement, that's it. It's like all these servers can come in. Jay Stalk and his like cronies can all jump in the game, and all of their little like things, they're going to start leaking more and more shit. Like just what Destiny said, it will happen. They'll find things, they'll frame it in a way, they'll screenshot it, they'll leak it. They're going to make him out to be like this sexually like perverted, like abusive, horrible person. And he has a lot of sex with a lot of people. So they're going to find like a ton of shit that they can frame in whatever way they want. I don't know if I'm convinced that he's like as terrible as they say, but I do think he's probably like a bit abusive, and I do think he's like I don't get the vibe that he's like nasty with women though.
Yeah, I think he's just I think he just has strong sexual like inclination, like he just likes sex and he just kind of let it get to the best of him.
Same, and I think with Melina, like, yeah, I don't think he's emotionally very like warm. I definitely think he's emotionally cold as fuck. Like he wouldn't make a good partner. Like he wouldn't make a good boyfriend. But aside from that, I don't know. I don't know how like I don't think he's running around like trying to find the youngest women to like groom and manipulate and abuse. I don't get that.
I don't get that vibe either. I don't get that vibe. People just latching onto that because she happened to be young in this case, ignoring the fact that he's obviously been involved with women closer to his age. Is just like this is just another layer to make it seem bad because you know what I'm saying. If she was 30 years old, they can't say she's 19. Then it'll just be this random online fan. You know what I'm saying? It's just any way to make him seem worse than what he is.
Well, I mean, I can imagine he's been with like so many women, and if you like, the reason you don't hear about the like 30-something-year-olds or like late 20s or even maybe older, who knows, is because like that's boring. The ones you hear about are the younger ones, and you're going to hear about the most like controversial ones.
Exactly.
Like the relationships he's probably had with like normal, not insane adults, like older adults. Yeah, you're obviously not going to hear about that.
Exactly.
Like, so the only picture that you get painted are the crazy, the ones that have like gone out publicly and like, yeah, of course. Those are the ones you're going to hear about.
One of my mods, Nicole, she said, I don't know what y'all talking about, but I love her voice, so I'm just happy to listen.
No way.
That's what she said.
My accent is so bad. I don't know why everyone says that. It's not nice. I hate it.
Oh, shit.
It's a love-hate thing. I think I get as many hate comments as good ones, but I believe the hate.
I don't even know what kind of accent. I don't even know what kind of accent you have, to be honest.
It's a New Zealand accent, but the accent here it gets like it's like there's way thicker New Zealand accents than mine. Mine, because I lived overseas for a long time and I lived in Japan and I lived in Australia, then it kind of changed a bit. So it's
what's so funny? I thought you had an Australian accent. I thought that's what it was, to be honest.
Yeah. it melds with some other ones. Yeah.
So I don't know how much time you got, but the last thing I was gonna say was, well, not the last thing. I don't know how much time you got, but one of the things I was gonna say was I think a lot of people are interpreting this behavior as recent, and I don't think they're realizing the time frame everything transpired to. You know, like everybody's like, he hasn't changed since he's been on Vyvanse because he's doing this. When it's like, well, the pictures got sent 2 years ago, and the exposing just happened the end of last year. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's openly and admittedly said he's only changed his life in the past year, give or take. So if we're being fair, a lot of his behavior was shit that he tried to consciously change. And I think people aren't recognizing
in the
that.
Content.
Yeah, he doesn't play video games. He literally, like, even when they were being dishonest about the framing of, oh, now you don't want to cover drama. He said that openly a while ago. He said he don't want to cover drama, and it wasn't because of this. So, like, it's like y'all just kind of like y'all not being fair in a way that destroys your own credibility, you know?
Yeah, I think there is an obvious, like, he did obviously make some changes after the divorce and after Lav and after, like, some of the craziest crap. But how's anyone meant to know? The thing they're trying to use against him at the moment is that someone said that he sent the video of Pxie to them in September of last year. So like, how did he change if I'm getting sent the video in September? But I've only heard that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No one's come forward. The name hasn't, like, people are just running around saying it's happened.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Destiny's saying no fucking way. The only person that got sent the video was Rose. Like,
I tend to not believe
I don't know
those
what
people.
to believe anymore.
I don't believe those people.
Yeah.
I really don't. Because that's easy to prove. You can block out everything and, you know, get a verification. Yeah, you could do that if you really believe. I don't believe those people. Just like I don't even know if I believe all those women contacting Cherry saying, I got your stuff too and whatever. Cherry's a liar. A lot of them I don't believe a lot of them. Or if they are, it could be like from the leak or something and they got it or some shit. I don't know.
I mean, even yesterday on Prawn Cess's panel, I don't know if you know who that guy is.
He's actually in my server, but he doesn't talk.
Oh, nice.
He doesn't talk though, but he's in my server.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, he had a panel with like Darius and Xena, and Lav jumped on yesterday. I don't know if you can find it, but it was interesting. And Destiny was in the chat in DGG, like refuting all the shit that Lav was saying. So like, he's already proven that Lav lied about like spreading around revenge porn of his dick and of him. Because she kept saying, I've never done that. He's lying. And then it just got proven, and she admitted yesterday, yeah, I encouraged it and I did it and I'm okay with it and fuck you. It's like, so you lied about that. You've lied about 100 things in the past. Like, and then yesterday he said a bunch of stuff in DGG about how she did talk shit about Connor, and he linked a DM and everything to prove it. And it's like, fuck, everything she's saying is a lie. Like, all these people, you just don't know. Like, I don't know what the fuck to believe, because half the time he does seem to be able to disprove the shit they say. So, I don't know. Like, how's Sherry going to prove that wasn't recorded with her consent? I don't know.
Exactly. She can't. It's just, unless it appears that he's like secretly moving the film. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell like somebody's trying to hide what they're doing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? In some sense.
Logic. What's up?
What's good, bro? Why you always sound low, bro?
Am I low again? Hold on.
Yeah, I'm turning you up.
How about now?
You low as fuck.
Is it good now? Better?
Yeah,
Better?
Yeah. It might be a little too strong. You can turn down a little bit.
Hold on. Better?
Yeah.
Okay. No. So, I came on because I'm like, I heard a good portion of like, well, I should say surface level of what happened, like, and only some stuff from watching Abba's take on the situation and why he's backing away. But I wasn't too sure about the whole Pxie thing and why what she's doing is making her look bad. Because that's the only part that I'm trying to like piece together as to what's going on. Because I just haven't really dove into it as much.
Wait,
I don't know.
Go ahead, man. Mantis, can you could answer? I gotta go take a picture of something real quick.
Okay.
You could explain if you was about to, yeah.
I'm not sure if what she's doing is making her look bad. I don't personally like. I don't know if we're talking morals or legal, but I think it's fair for her to like want to push back on stuff publicly, but I don't think it helps to kind of say anything in the public. I think it doesn't look good that like she's partnered up with Lauren De Laguna.
She's partnering up with the other people that he's had beef with.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good move. It just doesn't help her case. But like, it's understandable because they are friends. Like, none of this is necessarily like Pxie is like a bad person for doing any of this stuff. It is all understandable, but it's just not probably that good for her case. And it didn't look good that she lied. She did lie about never ever sending videos of her and Steven to of her with a guy to anybody. Well, that just got disproven yesterday that she has sent videos of herself.
Oh, so she's just as guilty in the situation.
Potentially.
Well,
what it sounds like.
She said she had consent, and like it doesn't sound like she said it was only with one guy, her ex-boyfriend, and she had consent to do it. So it might not be a big deal at all, but it doesn't look good that there's like proof that she kind of lied.
This kind of goes back to like when Watts had covered this and I had hopped on. This was like a couple weeks ago, and he asked me if like, do you think Destiny is like using his power, his abilities to like take advantage of stuff like that? And I'm like, realistically, I see he just, things happen. He, like you said, he just likes to have sex. But I think the mistake he's making, and this is what Abba pointed out, I don't think he should be shitting where he eats. Because a lot of the people
Yeah.
he's having sex with he's having sex with people he's collaborated with. That's been on his channel. And it's one thing if he was to do it, and you got people that are in the background that nobody knows of. That's one thing, but
Yeah.
he attracts and he's attracted crazy people in the past, and initially he used to enjoy it, and then he's now backed off of that. But those people, they're still somewhere there in the background. So the moment the moment they have an opportunity, they're probably going to just pounce on these opportunities and try to like smear his name even more. So a lot of this is kind of coming back to bite him in the ass.
Yep, I agree with that. I think he obviously knows that, which he knew that a year ago when he's like, all right, I had enough of this, and he kind of started to change. But yeah, like Abba's not wrong. Abba's right. Like Destiny is immature, and he's made like because the rewards that he was getting from these interactions was probably in his opinion more like lucrative than like it's a cost benefit analysis, and he thought the benefit outweighed the cost. But I think we're seeing now that that's just not true. And like, but someone like him, yeah, he likes the crazy life. He likes all this crazy shit. This is like what comes with it, and he has some responsibility in that for sure.
The
So
drama that was
I
going on
used to
around
do
that
drugs and
crazy.
drink. Yeah, like I used to do a lot of drugs and drink a lot, but like now I'm sober as fuck, and there's a reason for that. Like it doesn't work. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's not
not
conducive. Yeah.
it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like especially during the days like during the pandemic, the drama that would surround him. I was looking at him, some of it was like entertaining to a degree, but I'm like, dude, how do you live like this? These people, if they had the opportunity, they'd probably try and kill you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll
He
be
puts himself in
honest,
the
like
dumbest positions.
I'll be honest. That shit, I kind of miss that shit, but I respect him not doing it because
Same
it
for
can
the entertainment, eh?
like I missed the lab and Mr. Girl shit was fucking great.
That shit was insane.
You know, it was very, very good content, and when I consume it, the way that
it was junk food.
Yeah. The way Destiny came off to me, it seemed like he fully understood that this stuff isn't about real life and its content, and I think he kind of blurred the lines at a point. You know what I'm saying? I think he started letting the content shit get into his real life way too much. Like
he's always online.
Yeah, yes and no, but I think always yes. He's always online, so it just became part of what his offline life was because he's online so much. True. So with I think you could get away with like you really like a girl and she's a content creator and you get involved with her. You do that once to twice in 14 years. I'm not mad at you, but it now at this point it seems like if you're attractive and you like and you want Destiny, he's gonna give you a go. So and there's no way you can do that in a healthy fashion. It's just no way.
No. Yeah, that'll
agreed.
I mean, shit. Abba and Pxie even did like a small a video recently about something similar to that, where this guy he had to call the cops because this woman, she just went ape shit, and apparently was like a one night stand, and the girl woke up and she called the cops screaming, saying that he drugged her and all sorts of shit, and it was just like he's recording and he's trying to like stay on the sofa. This woman's like attacking him, screaming, and she's like making lies to the cops. But it was a one night stand.
I didn't even watch. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't watch it.
I'm like, yo, and it's like, yeah, you really got to be careful of who you bring it into your life, basically, because shit like that is going to come back and bite you in the ass.
And it is more fucked up because Pxie is like the last person that A, I would have expected this to happen to, and B, had deserved this type of shit. You know, like Pxie was seen as like the little sister of the Destiny sphere that he was trying to help, be a content creator, and she's young, and and pretty much innocent, you know, and trying to learn and navigate these spaces and coming into adulthood. That's how I always viewed Pxie. I don't care that they had a thing, but I definitely didn't expect it. Like, I know Destiny messed with other content creators, but Pxie, I truly was shocked. I didn't expect that to be a thing, and now it's all being hashed out in public. And so when I see that with
Even
him with
today,
some,
even today, Destiny said in DGG chat, like, there's like some people who seem extra pissed off, and that's because they were dating. They've dated Pxie as well. He like put all that shit out there.
oh
He's
boy,
just telling everyone everything.
that was
Dude.
just shit.
Jesus.
That was just shit
He
slinging.
scorched earth this shit right now.
That was just shit.
I mean, he's like, fuck it. If there's like an army of people sending my porn around behind the scenes, like trying to paint me as a rapist, I think I'm just gonna, tell everyone
I
everything
can understand
now.
that,
Like,
that's
oh
a very
god.
yeah.
I could understand that is a very large like stretch to take it where you call him a rapist. Like, that will fuck people up, especially when there's no proof of that.
And again, people are forgetting he was the target of this whole thing. You know, like everybody is seeing him as a demon, which you can see him as doing wrong, which he did. But the man was the target and got the worst of all of this. He got the worst fallout of all of this. And they're pretending as if he's supposed to just walk around and be like, oh, I'm sorry, Pxie, you know, I'm really sorry. You know, nothing happened to me. Fuck me. It's just like, it's just untenable to think that he's not going to get frustrated and upset at this point. And now he's getting sued. The man is still losing subs. He's getting sued. He probably lost opportunities as far as politics. He had to stop his fucking Bridges podcast. He probably doesn't have that studio in New York no more, or has to pay for it and can't use it. One of the two. It's just like, like, come on. Like, these people, and it's just like, I don't care. I don't like him. It's like, bro, like,
I think it's funny when people go, when they're like, he starts going on the attack, and they're like, oh, no, see, this is his tactic to go on the, it's like, no, this is any normal person's tactic when they're being fucking shit on, dude. You're gonna attack back. Like, this is normal as hell. This isn't like some like devious scheme. It's like, oh, of course he's gonna attack back. What do you mean?
Exactly. So yeah, people just lose their humanity when it's about the person they don't like. Because even like when that shit with Myron, I don't know how much you keep up with Red Pill stuff, Mantis, but like when Myron was getting accused of taking advantage of that girl, and H3 was trying to like make her say that he took advantage of her, I was like, this is bullshit, bro. Like, I don't like Myron at all, but let's not do that. The girl is sitting here saying he didn't take advantage of her, and he's like, but yeah, that's kind of like rape, isn't it? I'm like, bro, stop. This is fucking disgusting. Bro. Like, stop doing all that shit.
He is still the disingenuous piece of shit. Like, he had his moments where there was things that you were like, okay, I see where you coming from. You kind of trying to think, but I'm like, no. With that last video he did, that documentary, that
against Hassan,
the whole Hassan thing, and then he was trying to just the whole Israel thing, and like he was only painting one side of the argument. He wasn't looking at it from an unbiased perspective.
So you didn't like the content, Nuke? You didn't like it?
The content, the
Ethan,
one he did that was like an hour long.
Ethan?
Yeah, Ethan.
Yeah. You didn't like it? You don't think it was a good video?
Not really. Not towards the end. I remember watching towards the end.
It wasn't perfect. Yeah, it wasn't perfect.
No,
it was. It's
really.
Very Ethan. Look, it's very like people who say that Ethan is good faith are kind of tripping. Like, he's obviously very good at like mocking people and twisting things, and he's kind of a dick. Like, he does. This is like the thing he does, and at the moment, he feels like Hassan's community and Hassan has gone way too far, and he's just gone like, nuclear. He's like, fuck it. So I get that watching it, it's very clearly biased, but I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can be biased and not wrong.
I'm not gonna disagree with the Hassan thing, because Hassan is a piece of shit. That's without saying. But
the Israel stuff.
Yeah. No, when he went deep into the Israel stuff, he was just like, once I'm like, dude.
Yeah, that's where the valid critiques fall. Some people was just like I ended up on a leftist YouTube page that was shitting on it. I was like, you really don't think he made a good case? And I was the only person that got a bunch of responses in what I said there. Like, he didn't say like, people were in the comments defending Hassan not watching the video. I'm like, well, Hassan literally doesn't watch this content because he knows the critiques are valid against him and this whole supporting terrorist thing, and Hassan won't watch it. They're like, why should he watch it? Everybody says the same thing. I say, how do you know what he says if you don't watch it? Like, he
you
doesn't.
should watch it. You should. Yeah, if you've got a good argument, if your position's solid, you should be able to watch stuff that pushes back on it, and you should be able to still like stand strong in it. Like I think it's sad because what Ethan was so much more reasonable about Israel Palestine before he got all this hatred thrown at him for just like saying that he thinks Israel should exist. And like he even said like what Netanyahu's doing is genocide, like what this and that. He was so much more on the Palestinian side before, but now of course he doesn't even speak on any of that shit because it is just attack and like unfair attacks. So now you kind of lost any like nuance on the Palestinian side from him, and it's a shame because I think it is just a reaction to the hatred he got for being reasonable. Now he's just going to go unreasonable because fuck it, he's being treated the same regardless.
That's messed up. That kind of remind me with Joe Rogan. Like, I think Joe Rogan was done once they got on him about that N-word stuff. I think that's when he really decided to.
It was
true.
No, it was twofold. It was the N-word stuff, but what really happened is when he got massacred during the pandemic.
Yeah,
Everybody
true.
was dogpiling him. So when
because of the
happened,
ivermectin stuff?
the ivermectin stuff and all the things he was taking, once that happened, he completely flipped. He was like, "Oh, fuck these people," because they like turned on him. And I'm like, "Look, fair, I understand, but the thing is that with the media, they were targeting him anyway because his numbers are insane.
Yeah.
Like for a podcast, people were going to him for news, which is a mistake. And not to say that the news is any better by any stretch of the imagination, but no, like conversation wise, like he had some pretty back in the day, he had some really good interviews, like people that were, you know, experts in their field and whatnot, and had some, long form conversations. But now it's just everything was like one sided, Republican, this, that, and a bunch of fucking lies. And obviously, you see the result of where we are today. But yeah, like that, I think he got pushed out because of the attacks from that angle.
I think that's a lot of people in politics because I do think the left is like super annoying and purity testing and like just so loud and obnoxious. Like I'm a right winger in New Zealand, but we're pretty in the middle here. So like New Zealand's really progressive. So me being on slightly on the right in New Zealand is like still on the left in America.
Yeah, your right is completely different from our right.
Totally different. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's kind of changing.
I don't know.
Planet. Yeah, it's a different concept of their right, like she said, is like a form of left leaning.
Yeah, it's still like kind of in the middle. We're very moderate in New Zealand, but like almost like towards the progressive end. Like it is going to change because I think like happened in America, the progressive kind of people are just so loud and obnoxious, and they do shame for like the tiniest things, and they overdo it, and it does force people to like. Yeah, like there's a lot of people who are like, I was on the left and now like why I left the left. I do think that people, if they have real values, if they have real left leaning values, a pushback from the left shouldn't force them to go like as far to the right as Joe Rogan's gone. But to be fair, he has always been a populist, really. So he's just joining another populist movement that happens to be on the right. He's kind of a dickhead, but
I think I think three things happened. I should say it. Besides those other two things we mentioned, is when he signed the contract with Spotify. That money made him. Oh, that really showed who he was. And somebody somebody did make a correlation. Like there's like he's not even that good of a comedian. I was like, now that I look back at some of his stand-ups, like I only watched it once and it was like a chuckle. It wasn't like, his comedy isn't really that good either. So.
I've never seen any stand-up from Joe Rogan.
I hate his comedy. He just screams at you and acts like a crazy. But it's very American.
He tries to take styles from like certain comics. What was his name? Like Lewis Black is known to do stuff like that. Not yell, but he kind of has like these spastic responses to things. But Lewis Black is a political. He's a political comedian. And I forgot the other dude's name. He was one of the heavy set dudes. He used to wear a hat and he had like shoulder length hair from the 80s. I forgot his name.
I don't
But
know.
he used to yell in his skits, and that was like his shtick. But I think he's taken from some of those comics, but it's not something that works with everybody. So, and he's a
Yeah, no,
pothead
it's a
too.
bit
So
too.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. We're kind of more British here. Like I like dry, sarcastic British humor. It's a bit more witty, a bit more like cynical, and like nobody
I grew up on the
yells
British
or whatever.
humor. I grew up on Benny Hill.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah, Benny Hill, like Are You Being Served? All those like British shows, Mr. Bean.
The British shows,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah, so just different strokes, I guess. I have to go because I have to go do stupid work today, and it's Saturday, but it's my life.
how's the future, by the way?
Oh, it's Saturday. What time is it where you at? What time is it?
Yeah, true. We actually are. I think we're the first people to celebrate New Year's, except maybe like the Antarctica. But it's 10:30 in the morning on Saturday.
10:30 in the morning. Damn. So what time it be like when Tom's streaming for you? Like it'd be late as fuck over here.
So it's like it's really good for me because he starts at like 2, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. when I'm home from work, and he streams up until like midnight my time or 10:30 p.m. my time. So it's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he has a lot of Australians in his chat, because they're 3 hours or 5 hours behind me even. So he streams in the afternoon. So he finishes before it's even bedtime for them.
Yeah, it's middle of the day Friday. But I'm finna get off too. I gotta go get my kids from school. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, thanks for having me on. This is all gonna be interesting how it plays out. I think Tom's gonna get like a lot of shit for what he's saying because he's not willing to like just bend the knee.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, this is gonna be probably more drama incoming. So
Yeah, I can't wait to see Tom's show, but I can wait. I hope this don't get worse. I really hope it don't. Oh God.
Yeah.
Even though that's the only way it can. But
all right, see you later, guys.
Appreciate you for coming through, Mantis.
Later.
All right, bro. Yeah, I'm finna end stream. Get the kids.
All right. It's good talking again, as usual.
Yep, always. Yeah, pop in when you want to, man, if you're interested in convo.
Gotcha. All right, man. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Later.
Okay, y'all. So that was fun, informative, and all that. So till next time, y'all, if you made it to this point in the stream, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub, if not one, then all three, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.